You know
Mark,
who you
Is
is.
it?
Yeah.
Do we have it?
you know a
No.
decent amount about sweepstakes laws, correct?
Uh, TLDR, it was a chapter in two of my law classes. That's
Okay.
all.
Took law classes?
So I have a
Yeah.
question for you.
Wow.
So obviously that I
Mark,
had
what
that
can't you
idea
do?
last time, and it couldn't really work because of those laws.
Was that SpongeBob
But
twerking?
would it be it? Because technically this would
Yeah,
be
I'm
a
gonna go live
loophole,
too.
and this would be a thing that would I have no idea if it'll work, but if people who did decide to uh Patreon, they would get entries first and then it would be open to the general public, because technically you don't have to. You will have the option to do it without the paywall, but you just happen to be entered first.
What if you just
You
don't
have the
have?
first shot.
There's
It
got to
just
be
I-
something for it. I don't know.
Right.
That's probably.
I wonder what there
fine.
is for it.
But I feel that if we do the drawing or whatever, it doesn't really matter either way,
Subscriber.
because it'll be the Patreons, and then wait a little bit and then give it out to everyone.
It'd be like 3 days to a week in advance is what I would imagine.
I wonder what they
Yeah,
do,
I
because
mean,
you see them up. You
That's
see
just
people
not much of
posting
an
them.
incentive, to be
Or-
completely honest.
Or well, okay, well, what about say everyone gets like 2 or 3 like entries,
yeah,
and
as
what if
long
Patreons
as-
get like an extra entry?
Yeah, that'd be completely fine. As long as
Okay.
you don't have to pay to be entered into it, that's fine.
Okay.
If we want to give them 1,000 extra entries because they're paying for it, then I don't see why not.
Okay. Because after I re-listened to a couple people who were doing things like I had thought, I realized that it was more of a you have a higher chance, but it is open to everyone.
Yeah.
Okay. That makes much more sense as to why I was confused.
Had to say high hopes for a living.
Also, would you so like something for Patreon? Would you guys be interested in literally just a random days, like once a month or something, or like once every other month or whatever it may be, that we would get we should just all link up and just do like straight up bullshitting and like something podcast fact.
Well, I
like,
think-
not podcast fact, but podcast style, and more of a casual instead of just based like
just
news
record
and
ourselves
stuff.
talking.
I think
I feel
Yeah,
our
we-
podcast is already pretty casual.
Yeah.
not gonna lie.
I think let's talk about that after we're done with the podcast.
Yeah.
Let's we can brainstorm a little bit,
Yeah,
because I have a few ideas. Actually, by a few I mean one.
Waffle over that.
Yeah, as long as we don't go into like 1:30 a.m. territory, I'm down to talk as long as possible. If we end around like 1, that's fine. Like I'll talk for like an hour or so. I open.
Nice.
It's not no.
Should be good.
I can't imagine. Well, what all are we talking about this week? I didn't.
Oh,
check
I
before
got
this,
a
to
I
be
got a
100%
big ass
honest.
fucking week.
Also,
Fine
Same thing.
things.
Same thing I told to James, Nate. You watched Harley. You watched Birds of Prey.
I'm
Are
sorry.
we in
I'm
spoiler territory now, or am I allowed to talk about that?
Honestly, I'm never gonna see that movie until it comes out on Blu-ray. And same thing with Sonic. I'm probably not gonna see Sonic until it comes out. That's just my
Oh,
opinion.
I'm
You
not
guys
going to
can talk
spoil Sonic though.
willingly if you want to,
Say,
but
Sonic came out just recently. The thing is with the Harley Quinn movie, if you were going to see it, you already saw it. That's just kind of how that movie is.
yeah, you can talk about it.
Did you dye your
Do
hair again?
you? I have
No,
No. Oh, it
I
just looks
have
different.
news
going
about
to.
that movie.
It's
Do you
pop.
want? Go ahead. Sorry.
No. Go ahead.
I was just saying I have news about that. Do you want to talk about it during your week, Nate, or do you want me to say during the movie and section? Talk about the news that I have, how they changed the title of the
Mark,
movie.
you're straight live, bro.
I should be. There you go, starting to screen.
so
No, I'm
what I was thinking,
Or do you want to do
was-
in which one? You want me to talk about my news, then you talk, or just talk when you're talk about your week?
I was gonna talk about basically. I was just gonna like preemptively touch on it a little bit in the week, and then I was really gonna go into it towards the movie section because I have a little bit of news on that as well. Obviously, besides that part, but also the fact that like because last week we had talked about how like everyone was like, oh, it bombed, it did this, it did that, because it didn't really though. It broke over even, and everyone is. It's got a really high rating on Rotten Tomatoes. IMDb has it as a 7. It's just there's a lot. It wasn't great box
It's
office
not a
weekend, but it
Great
still
comic
did
book
really
movie,
well.
so I heard.
It's not a great comic book movie, but it's a good movie.
And that's
It is
one of
a
the reasons
solid
why they
movie.
changed the name.
Oh, it had literally the birds. Oh God, fuck. The Birds of Prey were quite literally about 15 minutes to 25 minutes of that movie. How are you going to lead the title with the concept of 15 minutes?
Yeah, they
It
changed it
doesn't
now. It's
work.
Harley Quinn in Birds
And the
of
Birds
Prey.
of Prey. Yeah, yeah. That's they had changed it already when I went to go see it. That's what it was labeled. But in the movie, it starts the first thing after you hear Harley talk for a second or two, it's Birds of Prey, and obviously they can't just go in and fix every fucking copy and resend them out like right away. It says Harley Quinn, Birds of Prey and the Fantabulous Emancipation of One
God,
Harley
that's
Quinn.
such a terrible name.
It's a fucking mouthful, bro.
That is a fuck name.
It's not great. I'll tell you something that fucking chaps my ass, though. I'll tell you what.
Just full
I
on
fucking got a
goatee.
coil yesterday. I got a coil yesterday, and I can't physically use this thing without dripping into the tip because I got a dud ass fucking coil. So I have to go back tomorrow and get a new one because I already talked to them. They're like, yeah, we'll swap it out, not a problem, because Cabana's the OG, and I fucking love those guys. But
Got the preamble going on mine now too.
I'm just super fucking chapped that like I can't just hit this because if I don't remember after every couple of hits to rejuice it, I'll just get a fucking mouth of burnt toast and it's a bad fucking time.
That's the worst.
The vapors here know exactly what I mean, and it's the worst feeling in the world. Right next to like, death diseases and shit. Like it's up there.
Coronavirus reported now 70,000 people have it and 2,000 people have died.
What?
No, fucking Leafy made a return to YouTube. Did anyone know that? That's great.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
I just
Hold the
shook
phone there,
James's
Chief.
world.
Hold on. He did? Seriously? He came out of the dead? He resurrected
He's
himself?
going to be. So it was the first time anyone has gotten in contact with him. Keemstar got a hold of him. And he popped in on an interview with some dude named Nick Avocado, who's apparently a mukbanger,
Oh,
that's a whole thing in itself that I have feelings about that, but whatever. Yeah, I hate that stuff.
Stop it. That's
I
gross.
hate that sound. It just sounds like fucking cows chewing cud. There's a legitimate like disorder where like that stuff causes anger, and I'm pretty sure I have that. Like I don't remember what it is, but like there's an actual like it's similar to how like things are like trichotillomania, which is like hair pulling, like nervousness and pulling shit out. But like there's a disorder where you get like filled with like unfathomable rage when people do that.
My
And that's
sister
the
has
one-
that.
Like I threw a chair at my cousin. He wouldn't stop. I asked him to stop like 7 times, so I just grabbed the chair and fucking
Yeet.
threw it. I didn't throw it at his
Yeet.
head, but I threw it at his like legs just enough to like let him know. I just had to send the message.
Listen, bitches.
just enough to keep him humble.
Oh shit, my one buddy decided to follow me 6 days ago. I didn't even notice that. Oh, and I'm not gonna fucking succumb to some motherfucker in the chat this time saying some bullshit that almost got me fucked.
Are you not
Thought
streaming on
pocket.
Facebook, Schroeder?
I am, but
Fucking
there's
is
like
a
a
thought
loop going
pocket.
on for a second there that was like freaking out.
Oh, I was on the wrong page. Never mind. Okay.
I muted Twitch for a second, but it wasn't like.
I was
Alright,
on the
that's
wrong page.
All right, my heavens.
Oh boy, so I watched episode 6 of that anime I'm going to be talking about today. Oh,
Yeah?
I was in tears. I was in tears at how funny that fucking show is. 20 out of 10 would recommend. Would recommend going onto Pornhub and looking up this show.
Oh, that one with the bees.
No, not the bees. No, this is an actual anime.
These ones are pretty good.
The
The
What?
bee one is great.
shit.
The bee one
That
is
was
pretty
fun.
top tier. But yeah, no, this episode had me fucking dying.
How do I
Live without
stream
you.
your?
Dick.
Can a page share something from another page and broadcast it. Like I'm on the Level Unlock podcast Facebook page, Schroeder. Can I share your thing and then?
Yeah, you go to the thing, and then when you go to share it, there's a little. You should see your picture in the bottom right. I think is the area. It's like in the line with the share. It's next to the share button. Should be your face.
Mm-hmm.
If you click on your face, it should produce a drop down. And within that drop down, you can change on whom's behalf you are.
When you go live, do you add the Level Unlock? Because on this past Thursday, if you go to the Level Unlock podcast Facebook, it says Level Unlock podcast was live, and then it's you streaming Overwatch.
That happens from time to time.
I don't know why it's doing that. Is it me actually playing Overwatch?
Yeah. Thursday night equals battle time for us at Splash Screen Gaming.
Might be titled that, but I think the title got messed up. If you want to double check it. But
Level
if it is,
podcast was live.
That's fun. No, I don't know why it's doing that. It shouldn't post any. I didn't share anything to it, I don't think. So I have to double check it. But
Yeah,
I
I don't
can't
know why-
post this like right now.
I don't know why it would be.
Uh,
Let me go to Splash Screen Gaming and see if I can see.
oh,
Hey James, what
I
kind of
didn't-
chair do you have that allows you to lean back like that? Or you
It's
don't like a bed or something?
it's an advanced kind of chair called a bed.
I figured.
Oh, actually,
I
now that
realized
someone brought that up, how do you get comfortable long enough where you can just sit up like that?
What do you
Yeah.
think I lean
My
back
back
to
would hurt.
crack my back?
I guess.
Yeah, that's why I do it. Listen, I don't have the space right now to have like a desk or a chair. I have my fucking laptop on a TV tray right now.
God.
Jeez.
Yeah, I don't have
Hey,
the
you must.
because most of my
Yes.
fucking I don't have the space. What part of that do
Like make one
what
out of
part?
black iron gas pipes.
What
You can make it
what
just big
fucking
enough
part
to fit
of
TV
I
tray.
don't have the space?
You have a space for a tray.
Most of my
No, no, no.
fucking space
The-
is taken up by my TV.
The way you fix this is you get a slightly bigger tray,
Oh shit.
and then like you get a
Put your
tray.
feet on it, and then that's it.
Yeah, or get a couple trays, fuse them together,
Yeah.
and
Do
then
some
it'll
wild shit.
fold up. Or get like a folding table, and just fucking take that shit out when you need to. Or just push it all the way
Those are
against your
pretty
TV
good.
stand. Move up. I've been in there. I can't hear a damn word you're saying,
hopefully
Walker.
pretty soon we'll be sorting that out.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it was on your. It was on your Facebook, but it must have got shared to this or something somehow. I don't know. It's weird. I'm okay with it. I just want makes life way easier.
Yeah, well, I'm
okay
telling you
with it.
right now.
Yeah, hopefully the space
just
will
don't know how it was
increase
done.
relatively soon.
Yeah. Just gotta hold out for a little bit. Done it for a year. I could do it for a little bit longer.
Still trying to fill my apartment in my house.
I think you might be able to add more to this. I'm just gonna post
Well,
it to the Level Unlock page.
Mark, if you don't mind, what do you pay a month?
$800, and then gas and electric.
Okay.
So
how big is
three
how big's the
bedrooms.
space? 3-bed?
I think I did it. I don't know.
Because my buddy
and
is
then there's
also
those watch
looking
party
for a
things,
place.
but I
I'd
don't
have,
know how
to, I'd
those
have to
work.
ask him. Do you live with roommates?
There's people that live above me, but I live by myself, and then
Okay.
we have like separate washers and dryers and all that.
Okay. 'Cause my buddy is looking for a place to move into, and he doesn't know where to go or where to look.
I shared it anyways. I finally figured out how to share it, so I shared it.
All right, I'm tired of
shared it
like
twice.
seeing half of myself. I want to fucking move this chair up. There we go. It's fucking better. I feel like an adult. But I'm still gonna sit crisscross applesauce.
Yo, did you know owls can sit crisscross applesauce?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's fucking blows my mind.
it's adorable.
That blows my mind that they can just sit like that.
Entirely.
I still want to redo this area, but I don't have anywhere to put my shit. I can't. I physically can't.
I think I'm ready. Are you guys ready?
Okay.
I'm
we
live
both
live.
Yeah, I'm live
Yeah.
too. I've been on the just doing the preamble.
All right. Well, let's
This
see
is the
what
content
we-
people pay for.
One of them.
Oh, okay. It's true.
Okay. So
People pay for this?
some days.
Someday, as in someday in the future.
Okay, I'm going to give us a countdown and then go live. And today,
No,
by the
you
way, I'm
shut
gonna
the
have us
fuck up.
introduce ourselves because tomorrow is the day where we are being sponsored all week by Podbean. So
Fuck
hands
yeah.
up.
Cool.
Okay. So everyone ready?
Mhm.
Sure.
5, 4, 3,
3, 2, 1.
1. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Level Unlocked podcast, episode 55. How's everyone doing this week? How's everyone going? I hope everyone listening's having a phenomenal week. Because we have a special week this week, gentlemen.
We do.
Why is that? We are being hosted by our parent company,
I
No,
didn't,
it's
Podbean.
not our parent company, our hosting
our
company.
host
Host.
company.
Yeah.
I didn't get to answer.
Sorry. Yeah, hosting company. The company that we upload our podcast to is hosting
Put
our
us in the
channel.
limelight for a couple days.
Yes, they are. We will be front, center, smack dab right in the middle of the screen on the website, podbean.com, on the app, Podbean on all your cell phones as well. So make sure you download it if you do want to listen to podcasts that way. And anyone coming from there, being the first to see our podcast, being introduced to it for the first time ever, welcome. We are a gaming podcast, the greatest gaming podcast in the world. For video game news and pure randomness, this is the place to be. This is where you want to be, and this is where you can get all of your fun, your news, and all your excitement. Myself, I am Jeremy Captain Geach. You can find me, Captain Geach 15 to be more exact. You can find me at that, CAPNGEECH, for those who didn't know how to spell it, on all the social medias. And kind of going down the line for the audio only listeners, James, where can we find you? What's your name? Everything else.
Well-
Wait, were you talking to me or Nate?
Favorite superhero.
James.
Favorite color.
I call him
everyone
Nate,
felt the
Nate
class.
James.
Okay.
Everyone
All right.
fucking
Well,
does.
my name's James, and I'm 3 years sober. That's a lie. Um,
He's not sober at all.
no.
Hi, James.
Let me get my. I don't know where my fireball is. So, you can find me on YouTube and Twitch at People I Hate Studios, and you can find me on the Twitbox, the tweeters, at People I Hate 10.
Perfect. Mr. Schroeder,
Hey. How you guys doing?
going
You
on,
having a
man?
good day?
Living the dream.
Yeah.
Always.
One baby step at a time.
Where can
Yeah.
we find you? Introduce yourself for those who are just tuning in for the first time, so they know
found it.
everyone on
Splash Screen
the
Gaming
podcast.
is the handle that I go by. Splash Screen Gaming on Twitch and YouTube and Team Splash Screen on Facebook and such. And yep, just
3 years, no more.
yeah, been doing it for a while.
Good shit, Mark.
Oh, yeah, as Walker said, my name is Mark. I make mediocre content from time to time that you can watch at MarkDude701 on Twitch or YouTube. Ta-da.
The way to do it. And
My name's Nate.
last...
I'll get you, fucker. I get to introduce myself. You spoiled it. My name's Nate.
Jesus.
YF Kitsune on all platforms: Twitch, YouTube, good old Instagram, Facebook. What else? The tweeters, the twatter. Let's see. What else? What else do I got? I got other stuff too. So I'm actually gonna make a Snapchat specifically for my thing that I'm gonna post in the link on
I
my.
was thinking about doing that too, man. I thought
Yeah,
that was
dude.
funny.
Hell yeah. Fucking all the social medias. I might still be rebranding just a little bit. I'll be taking out 2 letters. Which letters? I don't know. But yeah, that's me.
The
find
K
all kinds
and
of
the
content.
the K and the E. YF it's an
It's in.
It's in.
If it's in.
It's
That'd
in.
be absolutely hilarious.
It's in.
Oh, you can find me on MySpace too.
You should make that one of your notification sounds when something happens. It's
It's it.
It's it.
Putting your stuff on MySpace.
Find me a
I
guy
know
online.
mine is still active, but I don't remember my email or my password for
Oh
it.
yeah, same
For what,
here.
your
That
MySpace?
yeah.
My MySpace page.
I know, me too, man.
Let's link
Like
up
I-
on Wizards 101, honestly.
There you go. I think I know the email, but I don't know my password.
Yo, hit me up on Adventure Quest.
Yeah, let's link up.
Nah,
on
I
the
gotta
internet.
finish Maple Story first.
I was gonna say let's link up on some
Shit.
Maple Story. Fuck. God damn it.
Dude, what were those? Like you could. There's other ones too. There was like Goth Space or something like that. There was like for Goth people.
IMVU. Did you guys
Yeah,
ever go into?
IMVU.
Any of you guys?
That
did
shit
any
got
of-
fucking dicey, like risque.
Yo,
type
all the
shit.
time.
Did any of you guys ever stumble across one called Suburban R?
Suburban on. No.
No.
It was a text-based RPG that you basically worked your ranks up in like the criminal enterprise.
Huh.
And it was actually a really fun one. But it got shut down because it was considered too violent, which was so stupid. It was
Violent
so
video
stupid.
games, man.
It was
Help
a
me take over
text-based
cities
game.
on Mafia.
Mafia Wars?
Oh, maybe
Mafia
somewhere
Wars
someone
on
was
MySpace,
taking it
yeah.
too
Mafia
serious.
City, Mafia, something, Mafia.
Yo,
whatever.
Mafia City did a
Whatever.
crossover with Yakuza, and I was seriously contemplating downloading that game.
I know, what are
MySpace.
you gonna lose?
That's how Mafia
MySpace,
works.
The one time the world knew how to code, and then MySpace went away and everyone forgot.
Mm-hmm.
It's just crazy to think about, like how many people like actually knew how to do intricate shit
Mhm.
on Facebook, but taking that like
It's fair.
shit and moving it over to like actual like coding, everyone's like, I don't know.
No, no, shit.
Dude, like look at your fucking MySpace. You fucking had the Matrix falling down the back. What do you mean?
It's just crazy easy to exploit that sort of stuff. Like I
Oh,
feel if
yeah.
somebody integrated it into Facebook, they would run some kind of code and completely fuck Facebook. Which
Yeah.
I guess it's okay, but at the same time, it's like, do they
mean,
really want to implement that and spend money?
who's
on
the
a feature
real
that might
loser?
screw them?
I wonder if that's actually because it's meant now for
Checkmate, Mark Zuckerberg.
upcoming musicians, and I wonder if it's actually used for that.
What is?
Supposedly it is, but
MySpace.
I thought MySpace was wiped and Justin Timberlake bought the domain just to have it.
No, it's still up. Like my
That's
shit's
what
still
happened
there.
Recently,
yeah.
I know
he owns
Justin
it.
Timberlake owns it now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know
Well,
he
it
owns
was-
it, but I think it's still out there for music.
yeah, it's a music platform, or it's catered
Pretty
to
much.
It's to music.
People uploading their music, which I don't know. Would you rather put your stuff on
Cool.
YouTube and get discovered that way, or TikTok or
Nah, dude.
MySpace?
Nah, dude.
Oh,
SoundCloud.
you do all of it.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah,
SoundCloud's where
fucking-
it's at.
You just got to do the shotgun effect. Have enough
Post-
area of enough of an area of effect, you'll hit something eventually.
That makes sense. That makes sense. Well, once again, everybody, that is the crew of the Level Unlock podcast. Also, another milestone, we just hit 800 overall lifetime downloads, which is huge across
Yeah,
55
Divisible by
episodes.
2.
That doesn't
So
even
bad.
count all the live views.
No, not all. Yeah, everyone who watches it live on Facebook, Schroeder's gets over 100 some a week. So
Over
we're
200.
upwards, probably in the thousands of not
Between all of our
thousands,
different-
but yeah.
between all
probably-
of our platforms.
I would say probably close. I'd say probably close to 2,000, if not a little bit more, downloads and views total, including all the live, which is absolutely phenomenal. So, thank you all for the support. Thank you all for the love. Speaking of the love and support, because last week was our 1 year anniversary episode, we are doing a giveaway, a $50 gift card to your gaming platform of choice: Steam, Xbox, Microsoft, same thing. PlayStation, whatever it may be, V-Bucks,
Nintendo.
Nintendo.
eShop.
God, don't ask for V-Bucks.
I don't know.
So-
RuneScape coins.
Hell
You
yeah.
can on all of
AC
our
coins.
social medias. The link is posted. If you are on Podbean.com, Podbean levelunlockpodcast.podbean.com. On the left side is all of our social medias. You can find the link to the sweepstakes. Unfortunately, the site is a little too confusing to just read out the actual website to go to, so you have to go to one of our social medias. If you follow and like our social medias, you do get more points, which then gives you more drawings, more tickets, I guess you can say. I don't know how the correct wording, but more chances to win. We'll be announcing that on, I think we said March 1st, right? I believe.
Whenever it
was
ends.
the episode.
I forget when it
Yeah.
ends.
So make sure you do check that out for anyone who is just now listening. We are doing a $50 gift card. It'll be in the link in the description of our podcast, but you can find that on every single one of our social medias. And like I said, make sure you follow.
When are we doing that? Because I don't have any of that there yet.
That's not it. That's
We're
live
doing that.
now. It's live now.
Yeah.
Mark, I think, posted in our Discord.
Okay, I'll be sure to double check
Down
that.
in, if you look in the admin, the link is in our admin. But
Okay,
yeah,
I'll make sure
if
I
you
post that out.
like and follow our social medias, it gives you more points, which gives you more chances to win. So make sure you do that. We appreciate you all. We thank you. And for those who do want to support our stream and help us grow, get bigger, get Elon Musk on the podcast, you can sign up for our Patreon account. Be our first one. Maybe it's going to be somebody who's just listened to the first time. You want to help us out.
never know.
Anything is appreciated. $1, 25 cents, whatever it is, it all goes directly to the podcast. Helps
I think
pay for
I
it.
think the minimum's $1.
It is $1 actually. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're right.
Can't
What's
be
the,
25
uh,
cents.
What's the
Patreon.
sweepstakes on?
Give
It's
me a second.
Mark's got it.
Is it-
I'll have him say it.
Is it Gleam?
It's
I don't
on
think-
Sweep Widget. Yeah, you gotta pay for Gleam, unfortunately.
Okay.
I'll give you guys a shorter link in a second.
All right.
It's also on the
Yeah,
Level
it is the
Unlocked Twitter. It's the pinned message. It's a pinned tweet.
That's the giveaway. Oh, so the giveaway is on the Level Unlocked Twitter right now.
Yeah,
It's on all of them.
it's
It's
yeah,
on-
it's the pinned tweet on the Twitter.
Yeah, if you go to our Instagram page, it's the link on our Instagram page that you can click. I didn't paste that on our Facebook yet, I don't believe, but you can find it in the description of last week's podcast. It is in there, as
Or
well
you
as
can just go to tinyurl.com/level-unlocked-sweepstakes and you'll find it there.
Hey.
perfect. Repeat that one more time, Mark.
You can go to tinyurl.com/level-unlocked-sweepstakes and enter that way.
Perfect.
That's fine.
Yes, to win a $50 gift card to the gaming platform of your choice.
Heck yeah, guys. Thank you. And also, too, once again, for those who do want to support our stream, patreon.com/Level Unlock Podcast and Level Unlock Podcast on all the social medias. And our Twitter is that we do this at the end, but because we have new viewers, our Twitter is at what, James?
LVL Unlocked Pod. That's LVL Unlocked
Hey.
Pod.
Beauteous. So, guys, let's get into some weeks. James,
No,
Oh, you wanna go last 'cause you have
I'm
a
going
bunch.
last because I got a fucking.
what's up, man?
Ibrahim's chilling with us.
Oh hey.
Hey!
Hey.
What's up,
What's up,
Ebs?
Ebs?
How's it going?
What's up, bro? A long time, man.
It's been a while. It's been a while.
Hope
Been
the
a
family's
while.
good, everything like that.
Yeah, I
Gosh.
miss you, man.
Schroeder, why don't you go first? Tell us how your week is, man.
Pretty good, dude. I've been getting a lot of art stuff done. I've been kind of focusing my energies towards. I think I want to build and maintain those servers. I'm having a lot of fun with doing it. It has a lot of potential.
Doggy.
Hmm?
Doggy.
Oh,
That's a
Doggy.
big old popper.
Oh,
Scared him
okay.
away.
Let's see the pups there.
She's a bastard.
But yeah, just been digging into that pretty hard lately. Streamed. We played Overwatch. That was fun. What else did we do? I don't know. That's just really what I've been focused on this week.
A lot
is
of
just
Ark.
getting a lot of Ark. Getting the server up and running and trying to make it an enjoyable experience for everybody. For new players, it's open to the public, so PvE set most of the time, and then I'm thinking one day a week we'll do PvP for different story quests and stuff. But I got some big plans with that. But
I
other
like
than
it.
that, just staying busy, man. How about you?
I'll go. Now, myself, I am physically and mentally exhausted. I bought a pool yesterday, and my
Aw.
body is So
Oh,
our
I had
backyard.
to carry 2,000 pounds of sand. Oh
I
no.
did. You don't even know, man.
Oh.
But to start off, though, so Arizona doesn't have grass, so your backyard's a rock. It's all rocks. Is what your backyard is. So I had to dig out all the rocks.
Oh,
Come to find out, my yard is like at an angle. Once you remove all the rocks, because there's two drains underneath the
Mm.
rocks that let all the water drain out from behind the house. And so I move all the rocks, and it's like, oh, shit. Now I got to put half of them back
Yeah,
to make sure the
nobody's
house
supposed to
is
be there.
level. Yeah. But then I moved them all, put them all back with help of my wife. And then today we were finishing and putting it together. And I'm fat and out of shape. So to me, it's like exercise on steroids. And then we were debating whether or not to get sand. So fucking, we got 5 bags of 500-pound bags of sand. Fucking carried those, put them out. It covered like a quarter's worth of, I don't even know how to even explain it, but
Wasn't enough.
no, not even close. So I had to go back to the store and get 12 more bags of 100-pound bags of sand. So I'm just loading the shit on this dolly, and I'm pulling it like my feet. I'm like at a 45-degree angle trying to push this 1,200 fucking pound cart, and employees at Home Depot just walking past me. They're looking at me like, "Oh, that seems fun." And I can just walk past them like, "Don't worry, guys, I got it." Go to the self checkout, scan it. The manager's like, "Have a good day, sir." I'm like, "Yeah, you too." So then I had to put them in the Kohl's car. Employees are walking past. One guy says, "Are you almost done with this cart so I can put it away?" Like, there's still sandbags on the cart. What do you mean? Like, "Oh, we'll come back for it."
See, and that's why you
Okay.
go to Lowe's.
They probably thought you stole the bags of sand. Or something.
Probably.
No one
just like,
needs this
Jesus
many
Christ.
bags of sand. This dude's obviously out
Yeah,
doing
you could've
shady
paid
stuff.
for all of them.
Actually, too much if he's driving.
Yeah.
He
Fucking
just
man.
talking to me in chat, but it sounds like he's like driving his truck right now.
Oh, Eebs?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Don't
But I was just
If
fucking.
you're looking at your phone too much, pay attention to that road, brother.
Yeah, did that, and then so that's all set up. Got that done. So that was pretty much my week. Played a lot of Apex. Been pretty sure I'm the world's greatest player now.
So when you
It's
go
not
pro,
even, like I don't want to go pro because it's not fair to the other guys. That's what it comes
All right,
down to.
see how it is. Okay.
I'm just gonna win all the tournaments, and everyone's gonna be like, "Really?" Like, so I'm just gonna keep it fair to them and not do it. Like, I want Ninja to like remain rich, while I stay poor. It's just me being nice to him, you know.
So
No, I'm
humble.
I am. That's where my heart's at.
The most goddamn humble
No,
person I know.
But now I've been playing a lot of Apex Legends. I don't know why. It's just been really interesting. And I accidentally bought the Battle Pass twice, so that was fun.
Oh
And
boy.
bought the Battle Pass. I haven't played it since, actually. It's been like 2 days. So that's that's some
Recurring
shit.
pattern.
Yeah. Come to find out, I bought the last Battle Pass. Didn't even realize I bought it for the last season. I was level 10 out of 100. That made me mad, and I found that out. But yeah, that's pretty much been my whole entire.
So what was worse, buying the battle pass twice, or buying the battle pass once and not using it?
I would say buying it twice because I forgot that I bought it the first time back in season 3. So I didn't even remember that I had it for fucking 2.5 months and never used it. So this time was because now I just have a bunch of fucking Apex points. That's what it translated into. It's like, son of a bitch. Buy another character, I guess, whatever. Use those points for that. That's pretty much my week. Mark, what about you, man?
Nothing too crazy. Just taking advantage of the Arc Valentine's Day event.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
fishing.
been fun.
Yeah, we've been fishing a shit ton.
Cuties and
Yeah. So
Getting all the
what's
little pets and stuff.
what's in the Valentine's Day like update?
take it
Fuck.
home, Mark.
Yeah, so there's a handful of skins such as like angel wings, the mini skirts, bow and arrows with hearts on them that blow up hearts everywhere, halos. Then there's like a flirty emote, and then the objective is to catch fish that have hearts like flowing above their head. And then if you catch those, you have a possibility of getting boxes of chocolates and Valentine's Day candies. And then you can
Nice.
also get these little pets that you attach and they follow you pretty much everywhere.
Nice.
And I guess that's a really big part of it. And then you use those candies and boxes of chocolates to make those special skins.
Nice.
Yeah. Super cool.
It's a cool
Dude, they
little
gotta-
update.
It is fun. It is. It gives you a reason to fish too, because there's. I don't know. Sometimes you find some rare stuff in fishing.
And a lot of the dinos are like pink and red and all that, so it's all themed correctly.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and when you give one of the dinos one of those candies, like they consume it, it changes their colors for about 24 hours. Usually, it's to some kind of Valentine's Day skin-looking thing, and it gives them up to I think a 15% speed buff. And then the boxes of chocolates, if you're taming a dino and you feed it a box of chocolates, it immediately pushes it up to 40% of its tame.
Sick.
But that's another one you can only do once a day.
I wonder if they'll do something for St. Patrick's Day then. Everything's green. You got fucking leprechauns jumping around.
I think the next one is Easter, if I'm correct.
Yeah, they usually do an Easter one,
That makes sense.
which I got some plans for.
But yeah, I haven't been doing too much. Just ARC and work as far as I can think of.
I'm gonna
Just a
use
busy
the
week.
Mark. I'm gonna use the Easter event as a good excuse for a vampire proper telling of Raising of the Dead.
Oh,
What?
Yeah, it's the whole idea that you know. I don't want to go into it because it's a spoiler thing. I'll talk to you guys about it later.
Okay. Spoiler
It's all
alert.
about-
No worries.
well,
Yeah,
that's all
it's-
for me.
yeah.
What's going on with you, Nate?
You know, not. I guess I have played a couple games this week. I mean,
Yeah, you
okay,
did.
so played some Resident Evil 5 with James over
Yeah, you
here.
did.
That was a good time. That
We
was a
need to
good
play
time.
it more.
We can play again for sure. The only thing I'll say about that is it was a good time. Controls muddy as fuck compared to what I played now. I never played that game, so I really don't know. But they just, I feel like I'm moving in molasses, just from what I'm used to, I should say.
Yeah, it's
But
great. It's great.
played another one of James's favorite fucking game franchises.
Yeah, you fucking did.
Good old played some Yakuza. Yakuza is pretty tight. It's GTA in Japan, but like more dope. That's an interesting game. I haven't gotten very far yet.
No, you
but
haven't. You haven't even scratched the surface yet.
Literally, like I've
Come talk to me in about 20 hours.
okay. Other than that, all I've really played this week is a whole fuck ton of Rust, because I have missed that map so much. And me and a couple buddies played last night. Oh, James, you said you would edit, and oh boy, that might have been a mistake. 'cause
No,
I got
it's-
like 5 hours.
It's fine.
That's gonna be a lot of fun.
Just get it. Just throw it on a flash drive. It'll be fine.
Those days.
I-
How big is
It's
that?
like
5?
It's 8 gigs.
Oh, that's not a lot at all.
It
What?
says 8
Oh,
gigs. Maybe it didn't finish downloading.
Yeah,
Maybe I have to look at it.
A usual like
I was expecting that to be like, I don't know.
80, 90?
yeah.
Yeah, at
so
least.
so Nate, to put this into perspective, when me and Mitchell record one episode of a game, it's usually about 2 or 3 gigs, and that's like a half-hour episode.
Okay.
Bro, when I was recording those Subnautica episodes, it was like an hour to 2 hours, and them bitches were like 70 gigs.
hmm
They were
Jesus
huge.
Christ.
Yeah.
Maybe it is bigger than what I thought. All I know is eventually I had to just stop recording because my computer said, "Yo, you're full. Chill."
Yeah,
So I
man,
was
you
like,
gotta
oh,
get rid of
okay.
that shit when you're done with it.
Yeah, I'm
And
gonna
then
have
you
to
gotta get
fucking
rid of
export
all of it because Adobe likes, a lot of these editing softwares like to keep like a big chunk of it for some reason.
Yeah, the Elgato will
you
keep
gotta-
a very high res version of that video.
Yeah, so you
Okay.
gotta go in and get it out of here.
All right, shit. Maybe I have a lot more than I thought. Maybe it's gonna be like 100 or so gigs.
It's probably
That's-
stupid
that's a
big.
lot.
Yeah,
I'm
because
gonna put money on it.
properly rendered footage is are like, oh, it's huge. It's like FLAC video. It's huge, bro.
And truthfully, there's probably about an hour's worth of dead air. Like, not dead air per se, but like me just like load screens and all that shit. I plan on making that, I would plan on working with James and making that some form of funny moments, montage, kind of best of deal, just to see how that goes. Other than that, what else have I done? I haven't done a lot. Kind of just been tweaking around, playing a little bit of Ark with the boys. I got horribly frightened by a dolphin. I'll tell you what. I was real frightened by that dolphin.
Your scream scared me.
Bro, I was
startled. I startled me. I thought
When was this?
when we were playing Ark the other night.
It's
Yeah,
like
it was-
every night.
Yeah. Okay, so it was probably like two nights ago, I'd say. 2 or 3. No, yeah, it was 3 nights ago. So we were fishing. Like we were out in the water. I believe it was it just you two or was Geach there as well? I don't think he played yet. I think he was still playing Apex at the time, maybe. All I know is we were on the Nutliner. And yeah, I'll just let you guys figure that out for yourself. I'm not even gonna go into that. We were just on the Nutliner. So fucking well, I hop off the boat. I don't mean to hop off the boat. I kind of just fall in.
You phase through the boat.
Exactly. And I just not seeing anything, and all I see is this giant fucking gray fin and gray body go past me. And I fucking basically shrieked. I was like, ah! Like
I
my
thought the
heart
world
was-
Scary, dude.
Yeah, I thought we were getting attacked by like 100 megalodons.
Bro, that game is anxiety inducing. Water is horrifying.
Yeah.
Like it's just scary. And like I've always had a fear of like water in
Dolphins?
video games, which is why I'm taking which is why I'm taking so long to actually play Subnautica, because that's the whole game.
Was it
And-
Sonic 2? Is that what gave you that fear? Sonic 2?
It was one of them.
Where's
well,
the
truthfully, it was Jack and Daxter.
And then you're dead.
There's that, but it was truthfully Jack and Daxter when you would swim out a little bit and the giant fucking fish would just munch your face
Mm-hmm.
because you never knew in that game. It was just the water was always murky. But yeah,
When all of your gaming experience, water has equal death immediately.
yep. Fucking, you want to talk about water equaling death? Red Dead Redemption. I touched my foot in there and I'm fucking dead. That shit was ridiculous.
Yeah, it's stupid.
But other than that, I haven't done a whole lot, truthfully. Just been hanging out. We played Overwatch, obviously, every Thursday, but Wednesday
My dudes.
I was upset. I was not happy that we did not get to play fucking Grand Theft Auto because someone fell asleep in their chair.
Hey, you guys could have played.
You keep that shit together, just like Overwatch. If you're not there, we don't do stuff.
Stop it then.
You gotta take an L for the team, my guy. Sacrifice sleep so we all can have fun.
Yes. I know. I think it all just all caught up with me at one time. I got home. I cracked open. I remember too. I cracked open an energy drink. I took a bite of my cheeseburger, and then just dark.
Eternal sleep.
Yeah.
You had a heart attack, is what
How
you're
that
saying.
happened. I think that is what happened. I think there's a really good chance. I wonder how many times that's happened where I've thought I've fallen asleep, but I really died.
Whoa.
I didn't even,
Shit.
I died so you don't remember dying, right?
Yeah.
Probably happens all the time. My diet, my sleep schedule, and my lack of
So-
leaving the house and seeing the sun.
On that note, just something else I saw that was amusing this week. It was from the good old app TikTok. No remorse. But basically, it was this kid. He was talking about like his family and shit, and all of them had pretty much died. Like their hearts have stopped. Like strokes had happened. The stroke happened. Heart stopped. Seizure happened. Heart stopped. Heart attack. One of his like grandmother like passed away on the bed. All of them were ended up brought back. So at the end of the video, all he says is, "Well, more of the story. The worst thing I have to fear is death. And as far as my family says, not that bad." And I thought that was fucking hilarious because it was so lighthearted. It was
Like
great.
a pretty complex TikTok.
Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah.
TikToks can be 60 seconds, and you have no idea how much info you get out in 60 seconds. I fucking didn't, I'll tell you that.
Well,
But,
just to piggyback off what you said really quick about TikTok, just to show you where it's at, there was 3 TikTok girls that came out and danced during the slam dunk competition yesterday for the NBA.
Yeah.
Kari something. like one of the biggest TikTok girls. She has like 24 million followers or something. Carly de something starts with a D. Carly DeMario. Yep. Sorry. Yeah, 420.
Let's
20.
not give these people more clout, please.
No. I'm just saying, but just to show you like how like TikTok has become like the thing. They were literally interviewed, and then they came out and danced during the slam dunk competition yesterday. Like I had no idea who these people were. I'm like, who the fuck are these random chicks?
It's
TikTok is
And
what
then all of a sudden they
platform?
said who they were. I was like, what? Why are they fucking interviewing TikTok girls and having?
Everyone can hate TikTok, but it's undeniable how much of a beast that oh my god that app is.
that.
I believe in you.
I'm a fucking broke. I'm a scratch.
You
record.
sounded like Crazy Frog.
that.
TikTok,
No, it just goes
TikTok
to show like
is what the kids would say is the bee's knees.
It's like it's such a fucking it's an I shouldn't say tech, but it's an app giant. It's just not going anywhere, and it's not slowing down. If anything, it's picking up. There are people who are moving in together. There are content creators that are creating houses based off of what
Like
kind of
Team
content
10
they
House?
make. But
Nice.
less bad.
I've seen those actually, and they can be pretty.
Some of them are funny.
Do you guys remember what are they called? I'm a big fan of their work. Go on, it'll come to me.
Okay.
But
No,
the
it's-
idea of teams working together, actually living together and producing content.
Yeah.
I was curious because I've seen
Like
them.
collab houses and shit.
Yeah, because I've seen them. I'm like,
How is the name of the channel?
I was like, they're fucking on. They're at the slam dunk competition. Like,
Fun
I'm
house.
curious. So then I look it up. I'm like, can you actually make money off of TikTok? And
There's
yeah,
someone
you
who
can.
makes $2 million every couple of months off the talk.
Yeah. And
And
just
there's
making
one other person that makes like
60-second
50
videos.
grand per post.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah, there
fucking
was one-
insane.
It'll come to you later, but like these guys, they would make videos of even them playing dungeon, or they would make
Stupid.
videos of them playing D&D, but they would use like like they would build a tabletop and actually have the characters moving
TikToks are
around on
solid.
the map, and then
Yeah.
like two characters would battle, and they'd actually put the XP the damage, and
Nice.
like sound effects, and they'd actually add little animations to the thing. Pretty cool stuff people do.
Hell yeah. And like, so there's like, there is the scourge of TikTok. I'm hearing a ring in my ear.
Because TikTok
Anyway.
is listening
Yeah,
to you.
TikTok's listening.
Fucking, yeah. But,
Knows
yo,
where
if you're
you're going.
listening, like, help your boy out with some clout, please. Anyway, fucking, there's like the scourge of TikTok that like all like the TikTokers are like against is like what's considered hype house. And
Oh.
apparently they're a bunch of like super popular TikTokers that pretty much imagine Rice Gum and how much he called everyone
Oh,
irrelevant. That's basically them.
Fuck. God.
That's basically the house.
no.
If you're under like 400,000, you're just basically an irrelevant person on TikTok. And
I
like
hate
that's
Rice
their
Gum.
mindset. And I
Oh.
hate that shit. Like it's so toxic. If you have a following like that, you should be pushing people to do better, not breaking them down like an asshat. But yeah, that's my week.
Perfect. And last but not least, the man,
Okay.
the myth,
Everyone
the
get
legend.
comfy, grab a drink.
Yep,
We're gonna be-
grab a drink, use the restroom, go get some
Yeah.
popcorn real quick, because we're in for a long one. All right, there are
Oh, I
three
also saw
main
Harley Quinn.
three main things.
For all of those people that like James ASMR,
Yeah.
you're in the right spot.
There are three main things I did this week. I watched the Sonic movie, I watched basically a porno, and I played Dreams. Which one do you want to hear of first?
Let's hear the one everyone else think we want to hear is the middle one.
The middle one? All right. So,
Yeah.
let me pull up my Google Doc real quick. Talk. Jesus Christ, it's so
Holy shit!
fucking bright.
You just saw God, bro.
I did. I
Oh,
opened the
glasses.
wrong. I opened the wrong thing. Oh, it came up on my TV. Just the blinding white light.
Got
I thought I died there for a second. All right,
Dimethyltryptamine hit him right in the face.
Funimation got me. All right, So there's this anime that I watched, and I mean, it's totally worth an episode of Anime Corner, but I don't want to
Okay.
subject.
I'll check it out.
All right. Interspecies Reviewers is an anime about big old titties
On Pornhub.
on Pornhub.
Yes, God, porn.
Oh my god.
All right, so Interspecies Reviewers,
Kind of.
let's take this back. Let's talk about this, because this show, to be 100% real with you, if it wasn't shrouded in a little bit of controversy, nobody would be watching it or talking about it. And the talking got to
So they're
me.
using this as a platform to
Not really.
just propel their name.
Not really. No, because this is an oopsie from another company caused this to get big.
big.
So, Interspecies Reviewers was originally on Funimation.
Okay, sounds right.
First 3 episodes were on Funimation. Funimation was dumping a lot of money into it. They had a lot of high hopes for it. They even did a simuldub of it, which is very expensive. But hey, they did it. Episode 1 and 2, okay, it's a little risque anime. There's some, jokes here and there. There's a little bit of titties. Nothing too crazy. Episode 3 happens. And when they're doing the simuldub, they don't know what's going on. It's simultaneously dubbed. So, episode 3 has a very special part of it where our main characters get fucked. Actual, legitimately fucked. Or they turn into women, and they get all the fun stuff. Funimation scrubbed that shit clean from their website and from every bit.
Wasn't there.
It was not there. They had the voice actors sign NDAs to say they never worked on that project, that project never existed.
How did it get uploaded to that in the first place?
Oh my
Here's-
gosh. 'Cause
here's
they only
how.
watched the first episode and they were like, oh, this stuff is fine. The same way ICP got signed to Disney.
No. Yes, I remember that. So here's the thing. Here's how I got through. All right? This is an adaptation of a manga called the same thing. The manga has absolutely no sex in it. None whatsoever. The animation company, was just like, fuck it, we're making a porn. And there's
Wow,
a censored
that's
version
crazy.
and an uncensored version. I would highly recommend watching the censored version because it's just fucking hilarious. It stars a group of people. We have our 3 main protagonists that we follow throughout every episode. It's high fantasy, so there's elves and orcs and all this kind of stuff. You have Stonk, the human, Zell, the elf, and Krim, the angel. Stunk and Zell, they're big adventurers and that kind of stuff. They have a thing where they make
Yeah.
fucking bank. They post reviews in like this tavern of different brothels, and they make absolute bank off of it. So one day, Stunk and Zell are walking through the forest, and they see an angel getting attacked by a monster. They kill the monster. Really cool fight scene. Nothing too crazy. And the angel named Krim, they're like, hey, man, you okay? Yada, yada, yada. I've never seen an angel before because apparently they're very rare. Krim's halo is broken. So Krim is like, hey, I can't do anything. I can't go back to heaven. Can you guys hang out with me so, I don't get attacked anymore? And they're like, sure, on one condition. All right, what's the condition? When you get your halo back and can go back to heaven, take us with you. All right, why? Says Krim. Because we want to see what the brothels are like in heaven. They want to go to heaven to fuck bitches.
How does the angel respond to this?
Well,
He's like, oh, okay. Yeah,
the
why not?"
angels, Krim is like, I feel uncomfortable. I need an adult. So they're like, come on, Krim. We're going to have a grand old time. Let's get you fucked.
Oh my gosh.
And Crim's like, no. I don't. No. You don't need to involve me in your Jesus-less
In your
activities.
I'm
They're
a child
like-
of God.
We are gonna take you to a brothel, and you're gonna fuck. So,
Exactly.
Oh my
to
gosh.
quote the narrator,
Literally.
the party was joined by a pure, undefiled angel, whom was immediately defiled.
This is amazing.
Let me
Immediately defined.
let me just read over some of my notes real quick, because I took notes on episodes 1
gosh.
through 5, and I watched episode 6 today. All right, suck girls, lots and lots of tits and butts, big old tits. Opening song's pretty good. The general consensus is they would rather fuck a 50-year-old human than a 500-year-old elf. Why the fuck is there a fight scene in my borderline hentai? Let's see here. Oh, quote, or tentacle girls with, of course, big tits. Quote, did you get that nut out? I sure did.
Oh my god.
Quote, birds are total horn dogs. If you want to go watch this too, if you want to watch too, go to Pornhub and look up Pussy Slayer 1. Hey, by the way, this is great great way to introduce this podcast to a bunch of people who never would have seen this podcast, by the way.
Yeah.
I just realized that.
Ladies and gentlemen. This is James.
Stunk's apparent. Oh, there are 3 fairies getting drunk. Oh, they go to a fairy brothel. Okay, so they go to a fairy brothel, and they have to measure their dicks because if
my
they're too
gosh.
big, the fairies can't handle it. Quote, to quote the receptionist measuring the cocks, man, you've got a good-sized piece on you, dude. Fun fact, Stunk has a 6.5-inch dick. I found that out. That is a part of the lore. He can only handle. There's 42 girls in this brothel. He can only handle 2 of them. Zell, the half elf, can pick from 20. Kachel, who's a halfling, so he's a little dude, can take anyone. And here is the main gag of the show.
Like
Crim. Crim is. All right, you guys know what a. All right, picture this in your mind's eye.
Okay.
Very petite, small girl. Very petite, small girl. That is Crim. With a penis. Crim, they're like, nah, dude, you can't. You're way too big. You're fucking massive. So Crim's like, fuck this. All right, I guess I don't have to partake in the sex.
The godless axe.
Oh, to say what my in my notes. Crim is fucking packing. Holy shit, no one can handle his massive cock.
Oh.
So there's apparently a whole political sub-story in this where it's election time in this world and all the different races are vying to control the land. And Stunk and Zell want the succubus party to win, of course. Their motto is want to fuck, vote suck. I really like that line. The demon party
Schroeder
party
He's like, what the fuck's going on right now?
the demon party is also running for election. Nobody likes demon girls, to quote demon number 2 of the demon party. They even have a side gag where it's fucking Family Feud, where they're going over who is the least fuckable races in this world. Fun fact, demons are number 2, number 1 are the undead. Makes sense.
We don't have necrophiliacs in.
Yeah. Stunk
They're just not popular. That's all.
Stunk says to demon number 2, well, fuck off then, you Piccolo wannabe. Because he looks like Piccolo from Dragon Ball.
my gosh, they reference other games.
Oh, yeah, they do. Why does my hentai have a politics subplot? Crew goes to Demon's Hotel. To quote Zell's review, titties? Holy shit, dude. Titties. They don't fuck demons. Instead, they instead of cowgirls. Suck the milk.
What the fuck, dude?
All right, that's Crew's drinking to the favorite spot. Okay, what's up? Dudette, why are you so hot? This is episode 3. This is when they get the sex change.
So are you going
For
to
a
make a
night.
review of this? Are you
Sure,
gonna do,
why
like, a
not?
full-fledged review?
Maybe, I don't know. We'll see that. Let's see here. Stel, Zunk, and Bruce, who I haven't talked about yet, he's a beast man. They're fucking dead at the beginning of episode 4. They're fucking straight dead. They go to a brothel where it's like 500 gold, which is stupid cheap, for unlimited sex with all these demon girls. Unlimited. And they treat it like a fucking raid boss. It's treated like Zell's buffing the party's endurance
brothel.
and vitality. They're going in. They're like, we can handle it. And then they get fucking wiped instantly and get thrown out when 100 pigmen come in and like, we're ready to take on this dungeon. We're ready.
Oh my god.
Get it? Come on, Vegas, step up your game when you're gonna have one of those.
Stunk, Zell, and Krim go buy volcano stones of a far off land. Yada yada yada. There's a fire spirit. Krim fucks the fire spirit. They go to a Cyclops hotel and brothel, and the funny gag is, oh, what size girl do you want? And they're like, oh, I want the biggest one, thinking that as the bazungas, but really it's their eye. So the bigger the eye, it's like, oh, yada yada, ha 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 ha. And then they fuck some mushrooms. That's Interspecies reviewers. 10 out of 10 would fucking recommend. It's a great show. All right, Dreams or Sonic? What do you want next? After that, what do you want to? Both of these are
hear about Sonic.
pure, clean fun. Right here. This is not X-rated. We are done with the After
Good,
Dark
wholesome
segment.
con-
The wholesome content. Sonic the Hedgehog is a movie that is very entertaining.
You enjoyed it?
I thoroughly enjoyed every bit of it. Some of the goods. Jim Carrey as Dr. Eggman. Really good.
Of course.
Really maniacal when talking with the other characters. The chemistry between Sonic and Tom, the two main characters, is really great. It's a road trip movie. It's a lot of fun. Sonic looks great. There's a lot of cool callbacks. The movie starts off with a song by Hyper Potion, which immediately gets an A+ in my book. That is a great group. Yeah, overall, there's some really cool, scenes that they do with Sonic's speed to kind of manipulate it and look really cool. Like, there's this one fight in a bar, and there ends up being a gigantic bar fight in this bar. And Sonic then basically, Zawarudos stops time and just runs around the place and just wrecks everything. It's a lot of fun. It's great.
How did Jim Carrey do? Was he actually pretty funny compared to his other movies?
So Jim Carrey was one of the better parts of the movie as Eggman. Now let's go on to the bad. Jim Carrey is Dr. Eggman. That is one of the worst parts of this movie. So when Jim Carrey is interacting with the other characters, spot on, perfect. He is exactly what I wanted in a Dr. Eggman. Jim Carrey by himself or with his lackey, get him out of the fucking movie. Get him out of my movie. I almost walked out. He's bad. Because he treats
why?
this...
So why? Yeah.
Yeah. Dr. Eggman, from my knowledge, has always been the straight man. He's the one that's, the evil maniacal scientist to Sonic's, happy-go-lucky, carefree, super mounitude. In this one, Jim Carrey plays it great when he's talking with Sonic and Tom, where he's like, yeah, I'm smarter than you, yada, 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 this is, I'm going to capture you, and he's a great villain. When he's by himself, he's just goofy Jim Carrey. And it's the worst. Dr. Eggman he's funny in the fact that he is unintentionally goofy.
He's over the top angry and shit.
Yeah, that's what makes Dr. Eggman funny and cool, and I like him. But this is just, there's a scene in the movie where he's just dancing to music. Goofily dancing to music.
So Jim Carrey acting great. Jim Carrey being Jim Carrey, not the right
Terrible.
place.
Atrocious. Get it out of my movie.
How were the edits like Sonic
No,
wise?
Sonic looks
Perfect.
fantastic. Sonic looks great. It's everything I'd ever wanted and more.
How is the car wash scene? Because I heard a lot about that being like super and shit. Like interest. No, not the car wash. The car wash scene was when
When
he
he
got
gets fluffy.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, the one where the crowd went crazy. I went and saw it on Valentine's Day. And there were a lot of couples in the crowd in the theater, and you tell there was a bunch of girls behind me, and they're like, oh, so cute, oh, kawaii desune, that kind of stuff.
Is that what they said?
No, that's not what they said. It was funny. It was a funny little gag. I liked it. That was a good part. The ending of the movie, though, was fun. The references they made a Sonic.exe reference. They made a Sonic reference.
That's awesome.
The
Did we
meme
see Golden Sonic.
No, Golden Sonic isn't in it. He needs to get the Chaos Emeralds first. So that wouldn't be the next one, but the one after that. I have never
fight chaos.
I have never in my life heard a crowd pop harder than the post-credit scene in this movie. So,
Okay.
nobody popped when we saw the echidnas. Nobody popped when, Sonic saves the day. Nobody popped when the meow scene happened. Nothing. There were chuckles here and there. There were laughs. We were having a good time. Spoilers for the Sonic movie post-credit scene. Shows
Spoilers.
the world. It shows Montana, Green Hills, Montana. It's a beautiful vista and everything. Okay, cool, neat. Then all of a sudden you see, so they use these rings to teleport throughout worlds. You see a ring open up.
What's up, peeps?
You see a ring open up, and all of a sudden walks out my man Tails.
Nice.
Tails comes out.
Oh.
And the entire crowd in this theater, there's probably about 40 of us. We are shaking the goddamn building. We're cheering so loud. We are going
How did he look?
nuts. He looked great. He looked absolutely fantastic. Everything that
I
I could
wonder
ever
how they
want.
looked. I honestly want to know what Knuckles and Tails looked like before they edited the movie. If they left it or they fixed them. Because we didn't know they were in the movie, so they didn't put them in the trailers.
Yeah.
I honestly want to know how they look now.
It's probably the same, I would assume. I don't know. Maybe not. Who knows? Yeah, Sonic movie. That post-credit scene alone gets a 20 out of 10 in my book.
Nice.
Definitely go see it. Watch it. Watch it. And then the last thing that I really did... I played Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. No one cares about that fucking game anymore. I played Dreams. I got to check out Dreams. That game is fantastic. Dreams is the new game by Media Molecule on PlayStation 4. They're the people that made Little Big Planet. It's a creation tool where you can make games, videos, music, all in this game. Let me go over some of the cool things that I saw in there. The pufferfish eating a carrot meme, that was there. Don't fuck with me. I've got the power of God and anime on my side. That was on there. I played Fallout 4 in it. Someone made Fallout 4. That was pretty neat.
So essentially, like, what is this game per se?
It's a creation tool.
Okay, and that's how you watch fucking Star Wars. It's just people put these in. Is it the actual trailer
Nope.
from Star Wars, or is
do
it
they
just
like
man-made?
straight up build?
They-
Yeah, do
they
they
built- they
it
straight
from
up build it.
scratch?
They
Oh,
build
that's
it from
crazy.
scratch.
Does it look like you know how earlier we seen Schroeder's arc stuff? Is it like animated like that, or is it real life like looking?
It's
Like if you were to go to
It's-
the movie, is it like that, or does it look like you're fucking like Minecraft
it's
type
rough.
stuff?
It's rough.
Okay.
Some things are fantastic. Like some dude made a what was that, Mark? I don't know if you were watching at the time. That one sculpture someone made. Oh, it was Wolverine. Someone made a hyper-realistic, detailed model of the character Wolverine from the X-Men. And it was incredible. Then you get these characters for when I watched the opening segment of Star Wars Episode 4. These, like, cheap assets, like OG RuneScape characters. Looking
I was
characters.
gonna say it's not actual like Harrison Ford. They're like cartoon characters that they just put in the game, right?
Yeah, they make them themselves. They make
Okay.
these characters themselves.
Do you walk around and find this shit, or you just select it?
You just select it. There's a big menu. It's like a big menu. It's like, here's what's recommended for you. Here's what the top things are. Here's what many people are watching. Or here are the dreams people are in. And it also has like kind of like a shuffle button to randomly give you some stuff, which is dangerous. Yeah. There was one. It was
Suddenly you're watching that anime you were just talking about.
Yeah. There was one
So-
that was really fun. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, is there any like end game to it, or it's just kind of like a game within a game? But it's almost like Mario Maker, whatever it's
Yeah,
called, right?
yeah, no,
Where you
it's-
make
it-
the levels.
Yeah, it's Mario Maker.
Okay,
That's really the
Okay,
best way to
Nice.
describe it.
Just better graphics.
More stuff to do. There was one that was really fun that I played. Y'all ever heard about the Stanley Parable?
No.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I know Mark has.
Video game forever ago.
So
Sounds familiar.
Stanley Parable is about like a dude living his life, and he has like a narrator and that kind of stuff. There's a lot of games now that have like a kooky, fun narrator narrating mundane things. That was kind of inspired by the Stanley Parable. There was this game. It was about you getting to test out this brand new game that this person made, and all it was is you have a green tile that you're standing on, a green like little space that you're standing on, and you have to get to a door, and there's a big endless void in between, and like these platforms appear. So what you got to do, it shows the controls on your left, and you have to get to the door. Easy peasy. Every time you get to that door, the controls change. So like one of them is like, oh, X is to jump, squares to run, analog stick moves you around. Okay, easy. Oh, hey, next level, you have to hold right on the D-pad and press X to jump, squares to run, etc. When you got to the end of the game, the end of it, it was L1, R1, R2 was to run, and right on the D-pad and all four face buttons to jump. And it
Oh.
got ridiculous. There were times where I was like clawing the controller. I was getting cramps in my hands. One time I was just beating the analog stick with my nose to move over. It was a great time. It's only like $30 too on the PlayStation, or $40 on the PlayStation Store. If anyone has a PlayStation 4, you definitely need to try this out. It is amazing. And that was my week, finally. Whew.
Not too bad.
Think I had a long enough week, guys?
Something like that.
Sorry, I was watching the end of the NBA All-Star game.
Yeah, I see how
It's fucked up.
I see how
They
is.
changed.
It's fucking-
Well, no, I still listen to everything
Yeah, sure you
James
did.
said. They changed how they do it, so that's kind of cool.
You fucking scuffed their bud.
I am. So let's dive into some news, ladies and gentlemen. For those who are just now listening, obviously we do
damn
our
it, wrong
weeks
thing.
first, and then we kind of go over our weeks. So speaking of Sonic, really quick to start off with some movies, and TVs. Sonic did $56 million in the United States. No, sorry, it updated. $68 million in the United States, $43 million worldwide.
Damn it! If only they
Making-
did 69.
Yeah, I know, right?
Nice.
Doing over $100 million, making it the number one highest grossing opening weekend for a video game movie in history.
Yeah.
Yep.
They needed it to happen. They needed to do it.
Yeah, they desperately needed it.
So for all you people who said it was Like Sonic looked horrible. They redid it for you, and people came out. Let's not get it confused with another Sonic the Hedgehog that's getting a lot of news. Sonic the Hedgehog, the movie Porn Prodigy.
Nice.
So what's happening is people are
Sick.
Googling Sonic the Hedgehog, and one of the top searches a couple days ago on Google was Sonic the Hedgehog Porn Prodigy.
Nice.
Yeah, so Google made an oops. And a lot of, you know how you go to Google and they'll have like news sections? The first piece of news was Sonic the Hedgehog Porn Prodigy is making waves. So people were getting introduced to this. They shouldn't
Nice.
have.
Oof.
Oops.
Good. Well, that's like
Big ol' F.
that's like back in like middle school, I'd say. I was in the computer lab and someone was looking up. They looked up like just Sonic the Hedgehog on Google, went to images for like a project or something, and you scroll down a little bit, and one of the pictures under the safe search is just Sonic reaming tails, just getting right into
Oh,
it,
fuck.
and we were all just
Ow.
laughing, and the teacher got pissed.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah, yeah, no. So it's seen that this Prodigy has been given a huge spike in views over the last week, over the weekend actually, because of Sonic the Hedgehog movie. Kudos to them. The Uncharted movie. Yeah, the Uncharted movie, the movie that probably won't ever happen. But don't get your hopes up. I mean, don't get your hopes down, I should say. Tom Holland has come out and said it is the best script that he has ever read, ever,
Wow.
for a movie.
Well,
People were
he's
asking
like
him-
5, right? So I mean, not much.
He's been getting asked about it. When's it going to be releasing? How come you guys have had 5 directors already? And there's no update as to when this movie's going to be released. He wasn't able to give that, but he did say, don't worry, this is one of the best scripts I have ever read, ever.
Soon,
Ooh.
Tom
So, there's
Holland.
hope.
Soon, Tom Holland is going to be casted as Sully.
It's going to be too old.
Yeah.
A little bit of Disney news. Who remembers Aladdin Return of Jafar?
Yeah.
That movie sucked.
It did. So Disney decided they're going to make a live action Aladdin.
Stop.
It was just announced today. Yes. Disney has announced that they will be releasing Aladdin. Along with that, Tangled live action will be released. As
That's
well,
an interesting choice.
So wait, I
Yeah,
thought
Rapunzel.
I thought they already made a Tangled live action. Get it?
That's a really interesting choice.
I think hasn't Rapunzel been done before? I could have sworn
Only
it
a
had,
1,000 times.
but- yeah, just like Cinderella.
I mean, it's all in
Yeah,
the public
no.
domain, so anyone can do it.
That will be shooting for 2023 Tangled and Aladdin 2.
Okay, so,
Also,
like-
go ahead.
What's up?
No, go ahead. What were
I
you
was
saying?
just gonna like chime in real fast.
Yeah.
So like, all just those basic. Oh, they want money grabs, whatever. Because yeah, that's what it is at the end of the day. But like, can any of you think of any legitimate reason as to why they are doing these? But obviously, besides the money grab aspect, like, why? And is anyone really asking for these? Like, I don't understand. These are not movies that are going to do well in live action. Obviously, Aladdin fucking didn't. The only reason people went to see that is for Will Smith. If he wasn't in it, guarantee it would have bombed.
And
And then
Dumbo
same
didn't
thing
do
with
good.
everything else.
No,
Yeah,
and Dumbo had Danny
honestly-
DeVito, and like if Danny DeVito can't save a project, nothing will.
Yeah,
he saved
don't-
fucking Batman.
Hmm.
yeah. But I honestly, I don't know. All I can really put my finger on is the money because of Beauty and the Beast. Like how much of a hit that was. I think they were like, well, shit, okay, let's do it. Like,
Maybe-
like TV's doing live action musicals now, where they're taking all the big musicals and they're making them live, not already live action.
They're
But they're doing-
meta-ing musicals.
Yeah, they're doing.
High School Musical, the musical is fucking that's
Nice.
a thing that
That is the thing.
Yeah.
like
They're doing. They did Rent. They're doing. West Side Story comes out later this year. The redo.
that makes sense though.
Yeah.
So I guess maybe I don't maybe this doesn't make sense to anyone else, but in my head it does.
No, I get
So-
it. I don't know. Like Mulan. Mulan comes out next month.
Oh yeah, it does.
That one I can get too. like my issue is like a lot of these don't make sense to do live action. Beauty and the Beast, that movie felt like it could be live action.
Yeah.
Aladdin, with all the shit that they do in that, it doesn't make sense to do it live action. I don't
No.
feel like it works. Lion King, why?
You don't need
It's
to
literally
It's
remake
not anime.
Why?
It's live action. Remember that.
You-
Lion.
No, it's oh,
It's not
end of
animated.
conversation. It's not
Stop.
animated. It's just CGI.
Stop.
Computer generated images. Neat. Fucking like it doesn't make any sense to me. Like
Yeah.
like I said, Beauty and the Beast, I could see how that could be good live, and obviously it was. Like it went really well, and like Frozen, as much as I dislike the franchise, I
It'll
can't
come.
perfectly say the movie is terrible. Oh, they're going to. It's gonna happen. I 100% guarantee it. And Frozen, however, I can see that. Appreciate you, Austin. You're the G. But it doesn't like certain movies work, certain movies don't. I feel like they need to figure that out. They can't just make everything live action. I don't. It's not. It doesn't make sense.
I'm waiting for them to do Hercules.
That I could see being good. It would
Yeah.
be that okay. So Hercules realistically would be like a kid-friendly version with a more of a story of like Clash of the Titans at the end of the
Yeah.
day. Like that's what that movie would end up being. Like, and that would be super cool. It would be like a super child-friendly Percy Jackson in a way. Like,
Yeah.
oh, they're also redoing those, which is I'm really fucking excited for. But that's a whole nother conversation. But like, these live-action movies don't make any fucking sense, like at all.
We'll see how it does. Tangled didn't do good to begin with in the box office when it first released. It was just like Lady and the Frog, whatever it is.
Princess and the Frog.
Yeah.
See that deserved more because it was the last like actual animation.
Actual Disney. Yeah, from Disney. It didn't do very well. Another piece, Mulan is being released next month, but Disney is more or less scared for their lives in this movie because Mulan is based in China. China has closed every single one of its movie theaters because of the coronavirus. And
Yep.
this movie was predicted to do sensational in China because
Also
obviously
true.
it's based in China. And they have no idea when the movie theaters will reopen. So
Right.
this movie could become a flop until China opens up its movie theaters.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're-
that's definitely a problem.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I could even see like, so I guess my biggest thing is like the older movies, Beauty and the Beast, whatever. But like even Brave, as much as like people didn't really care for that movie, or some people did, it was like pretty much 50-50 on Brave. I could see that too.
I like
Like, I get that. Brave was fine. It was decent. Like I didn't hate it. Like I don't
Yeah,
know.
nope.
It doesn't work.
So pretty much what you're saying is the Disney movies that have primarily human characters in it would do good live action. The ones that don't have primarily human characters in it wouldn't do that great live action.
So yes, but also that have
Yeah,
I don't
have
know
a
if this will
story
make
behind
any
it.
sense. I was gonna say like yeah, like that have like a legitimate linear storyline that makes sense. Aladdin, realistically, like maybe I'm not remembering the movie correctly, but there was a story, but it was mainly Aladdin going around just trying to figure shit out and just
Yeah.
romping around having fun, and like
Right.
he ended up falling in love with a girl, whatever. But like maybe Jafar, whatever this next one's gonna be, I don't even remember what she said.
Jafar 2
whatever.
Electric Boogaloo.
Maybe that could be good because it would give like a linear villain quality. Like maybe that one will do well, or at least the character will be done well. I hope, because Jafar, like I didn't hate. He was kind of interesting. I think the parrot was my favorite part, just because he
Gilbert
was like, super
Gottfried.
sassy and it was great. Yes. Okay, so completely off topic. But has anyone ever seen presidential roasts?
Mm-mm.
Oh,
think
I know what you're
No.
talking about, though.
Gilbert Gottfried. And I mind you, this may be controversial. I'm not going to say a bunch about it. But Gilbert Gottfried played a very, very disliked human that caused a lot of deaths in history. Does anyone want to take a crack at who it was?
Was he a murder, like mass murder?
Hitler.
He can't. Wait, what?
Hitler.
Yes! Gilbert
Nice.
Gottfried portrayed Hitler. It was
Nice.
the funniest
One of the
thing I've ever-
presidential roasts.
Yeah, fucking Bob Saget was Abraham Lincoln. I just thought that was interesting. I was throwing that
That's
out there.
hilarious.
It was a whole thing. It was great. But yeah, fucking it doesn't work. And I feel like if they keep going down this path, they're gonna end up pissing a bunch of people off over time. Or they're going to get the right ones and figure it out and do well. Like maybe. Like Princess and the Frog, I could see that doing really well too. Like that movie could be really good because the villain in that movie was super good. At least I thought he was interesting.
We'll save the DC universe for last. We'll have James talk about that. One more piece of Disney news. So last week we talked about the Mighty Ducks possibly coming back. It is confirmed. Emilio Estevez is returning on Gordon Bombay. So as the Mighty Ducks, but it's with a twist.
I don't like it.
Mighty Ducks
I
are
don't
the
like it.
villains.
I don't like it.
So
They're
the
the
Mighty
villains?
Ducks are the bad team in this.
So
they're
does
the
that
team
mean-
that everybody wants to defeat because they've been so good. They've become arrogant and cocky that the other teams are trying to take them down. So the Mighty Ducks are actually the bad guys in this TV
So
show.
are we basically watching the Russian version of Rocky where Ivan Drago's the hero?
Pretty
Yeah,
much.
pretty much. Yeah.
Like everyone knows that's a thing, right? Like that's an actual re-edit of the movie, and it's
Oh, I
ridiculous.
Yeah.
guarantee it.
Yeah, it is. It's great.
But yeah, so yeah, it is not the Mighty Ducks that we have come to love 25 years ago. The Mighty Ducks are the bad guys, and the other teams are trying to take them down because they have basically been so good for so long, they've become cocky.
Oh, you good bot. But like, so is anyone else gonna like we're just not gonna talk about the fact that Emilio Estevez just like exists still? Like I completely forgot about that dude. He's off the face of the earth.
True.
Honestly, like as far as I
Hasn't
know,
done
the
anything.
last thing I remember him in was The Breakfast Club. Like
Yeah.
that's all I can remember him being in.
Mighty Ducks came out like 20 years after the Breakfast Club, just throwing that out there.
Did it really though?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it did.
Breakfast Club
Okay.
was like in the 80s. The Mighty Ducks was in the 1990s.
That's fair. I can understand why Trump sucks dick. I get it.
Uh,
I don't know what that
Witcher-
has to do with the Mighty Ducks, but yeah. Continue, sorry.
the
When are they
Witcher
gonna
TV show.
When are they gonna remake the Mighty Ducks animated show? That was
That was good too.
Yeah, they need to make a
Not a
live
bad
action
show.
DuckTales.
woohoo.
The Witcher
understand.
TV show has been given The Witcher 3 sales a lot of momentum. The Witcher 3 is for sales over the last 3 months since last 2 months, sorry, since the release of the show. It is up 555% in sales.
Good. Witcher 3 is great.
So people who have never actually played the game, watched the TV show, realized it was based on a game and went out for
I wonder.
for that making. Go ahead.
I wonder if people are reading the books too. Now
I
I
can
want.
see that.
Wonder
Did
if
you
they're
have to
reading the
break out
novels.
the toque?
I did. Gotta represent my
Okay.
Ducks. They won this month. They
That's
won
fair.
tonight.
But yeah, no, it's huge. They're like the gaming at 555%, which is absolutely phenomenal. That
That's
came
pretty
up.
dope.
crazy.
Call of Duty movie
Ooh.
has been talked about. It has been
Forever.
put on hold by Activision. They said due to creative differences from the director, it's currently been put on hold and is in limbo as to the status of when it will be released and when they will start filming. It has been in production since 2000, almost in 1995, since 2005. Sorry, 2015. Jesus. 2015 has been on hold, and they thought they was going to get a push in 2018, but they have basically been at a standstill as to the direction they want to go with it, just to make it not another war movie, and to make it good. Who wants to eat lunch in the Batcave?
Yeah, that'd be
Oh,
sick.
so-
That would be
Let's do
pretty
it.
I
damn
mean, that'd be
cool.
pretty alright, I guess.
London is creating a Batcave restaurant. It's a Batman themed restaurant where you eat lunch, dinner, and breakfast in the Batcave, surrounded by different artifacts like the Batmobiles, bat suits, everything along those lines with technology that replicates the actual Batcave. So that's pretty
So
cool.
like, is like the food and shit gonna be based off
It doesn't say what kind of
Clayface? I get it.
that would be cool. Yeah, no, it doesn't say what kind of food it will be serving. But it's just it's just becoming a Batman themed restaurant is coming to London.
We don't do cool stuff like that in the U.S. It
No,
sucks.
not at all.
The only thing we do is shit over at like Anaheim, not Anaheim, but like Universal and shit.
Yep.
I want a Kirby Cafe here like they have in Japan.
Yo, give me a fucking Well, I mean, we have the Goku ramen place.
Not in Florida though.
Yeah, I mean, to be
Yes.
fair, Florida really isn't part of the United States. They're not real. Nah, like Florida's a whole nother fucking country its own. We don't take ownership of Florida. I love you,
Exactly.
Jeff, but we don't.
In California.
Florida, the
last-
Florida man shit's gotten out of hand.
That's true. Last two pieces. Did you guys all watch the trailer for the Batman suit reveal?
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah,
What do you
no.
What are you guys' thoughts?
It looks alright. Nothing really.
Anyone else have
It's a
thoughts
te-
before I bitch for a second?
it's a teaser. It's I.
I wasn't a fan of the fucking neck brace piece that he had. It reminded me almost of like what the fuck is it? It's like
Like
that show
I-
Daredevil almost suit. So we'll see how it
I've been
actually
reading some
portrays.
things. People are comparing it to that.
So we'll see. What's your thoughts, James?
Okay, so I'm just fact checking myself real quick because, yeah, I can't say I hate it, but I don't like it. So the issues, from what I could see, is it doesn't look like Bruce's suit. It kind of reminds me of now if you're not like familiar with DC and not familiar with like the Bat family or anything, you may not know what I'm talking about. But it kind of reminds me kind of when Jason Todd took over as Batman. Now, mind you, obviously it doesn't have all the armor pieces, it doesn't have the claws, it doesn't have the fucking like mesh metal face mask kind of thing that he wore as well. But the chest piece is very reminiscent, which is what I was trying to fact check. I was trying to double check, but I'm almost positive that's the one. Either that or Azrael. And Azrael is another super obscure character, and his name is John Paul Valley. And if you're not familiar with the Bat family, once again, you probably don't know who the fuck I'm talking at all. And if you watch Gotham, you probably know the name, but I mind you, that is not a fair representation of Azrael because it's just garbage. Gotham itself was a bad fucking show until the very end.
I like
The only parts that were good and the only parts that saved it were Cameron Monaghan. Period. Don't care what anyone says. But the suit itself, I couldn't. Was there a giant cape? I didn't see the giant cape. I don't recall there being a cape on that suit
I don't know. Let me look it up.
because of how tight and how slimline it was. It also kind of reminds me of Terry McGinnis's suit, which, if you're unfamiliar with who Terry McGinnis is, that's fucking Batman Beyond. Because it's almost.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe I just saw it wrong, but it looked almost reddish. His chest piece, and that was Terry McGinnis's main thing. He blacked out suit with the red Batman logo, kind
That
of
was
looking
cool.
like Red Hood.
There is a
Batman-
cape on it.
There is a cape. Okay.
Yeah.
So it kind of looks like a mash between the two then. And truthfully, like if I were to confidently say one person that suit reminds me of, it's Flashpoint's Thomas Wayne Batman suit. Because it was super tight. It was like almost like military-esque looking as to where Batman's look, yes, a little military-esque looking. But like if you're a Batman fan, if anyone whoever's listening, if you're a Batman fan, you know what I mean. It's hard to explain, but like Bruce's and Thomas's suits were like close but different in ways, and this reminds me between like Terry's, Azrael's, and when Azrael took over as Batman, I'm like, because I don't want anyone saying Azrael doesn't look like Batman. He kind of fucking does. Let's be honest. But he's just Batman who fucking kills, and Batman was like, "Yo, you can't do that anymore. I gotta take the mantle back." because Batman wanted to quit. But I I have high hopes. I shouldn't say high hopes. I have hopes that what's his fuck Robert Pattinson will do
yeah, man.
at least a little bit of justice to the character. I'm just
when-
hoping.
They announced that he was up for it. Fucking internet blew up. So that's, I think, one of the reasons why they finally picked him too. So we'll see.
Honestly, though, I think the ideal thing that I think should have happened was Affleck stayed. Let me finish before anyone gets upset. Affleck stays, but as Old Man Bruce. And it should have been Robert Pattinson taking over as Terry McGinnis. Would it have been a slightly aged Terry? Sure, because Terry's probably about 17, 18 when he starts as Batman Beyond. And he's like on a leash. He has to learn how to properly take care of people, take care of villains, and not kill them if they do something wrong, because that's the entire mantle of Batman. It is to simply strike fear and make people not want to do this. But I love Batman, but he causes more issues. And that's the whole story of the White Knight. Like, the White Knight is a whole thing. But that's a whole nother conversation that I do plan on covering in something I plan on starting. But
Good shit.
or restarting. But it's fine. It is not as good as I would say Batman 3, which is, I believe, Bane. Yeah, that was the
Dark
really
Knight
terrible
Rises.
Bane. I liked that suit. The first
Wait.
Batman suit in the Nolan verse was trash garbage. Second one was fine. Third one was pretty good. I thought it worked really well. But with them going with that like kind of Daredevil-esque look, I don't hate, due to the fact that like it looks more slimline, doesn't padding. Like, that was the problem with the first two suits, is that what's his name, Christian Bale, wasn't big enough. Like, he just wasn't simply beefy enough, and they like buffed up his suit. And that's what a lot of people thought about Zachary Levi until he came out and was like, yeah, that first picture I had padding. Now Zachary Levi got fucking jacked for Shazam. Like, that was actually his body, and like, it's crazy because that dude got monstrous real fast.
You got to keep up with The Rock because he knows he's about to face him.
Yeah, Black Adam's getting a solo movie,
Yeah.
which I'm actually really excited for, because he's been casted as Black Adam since 2015,
It's been a
2016.
minute.
Yeah, it's been a long fucking time. Five to 4 years. But yeah, Batman suit, about a 0.5 to 5 out of 10. Don't hate it, but I will wait to cast pure judgment until I see it. At least more of it.
And
I'm also
the last-
still salty we're not getting Deathstroke, but that's just me bitching.
The last piece of news that I have, so Birds of Prey and the Fabulous Emancipation of One Harley Quinn has changed its name.
Fantabulous.
Has changed its name to Harley Quinn Birds of Prey, due to from basically the horrendous box office blunder that it received last week. And with the box office this week, it has only done $45 million.
Oof.
Sonic destroyed that movie this week. It did $10 million this week, $33 million. Fans did not like it, and they changed the name because it felt that a lot of people didn't know what Birds of Prey was. And then by adding Harley Quinn to the beginning of it, that changes the aspect of it to allow people like, oh, it's a Harley Quinn movie. That makes sense. Let's go see it now. Will it actually translate to revenue? Probably not. Did you already talk about this, James?
No, I haven't said anything about Harley Quinn yet.
All right. We'll
All
end
right.
the movie news with that. What James seen it, so let's. Been out 2 weeks. Spoilers, and let's give a review on it.
So, okay. Now, the one thing I want to kind of edit from what I said is so the only people that have been responding that they don't like it are a bunch of beta males who insist that the movie is based around feminism. Now, if you actually watch the movie, obviously there is a little bit in there of like, yeah, you don't need a man to like be your own person, whatever, which I'm all for. That's fine. That's great. Now, I'm glad we're not at the point where people can clip this because I would be fucked right now. But what I would say is that like a lot of people are praising the movie. A lot of people like the movie. There is no legitimate I hated this movie. From what I've seen so far on like and the IMDb comments and the Rotten Tomatoes comments is that as a comic book movie, which I'm completely on board with this, and it was the first thing I said to second, not super great. As a movie, though, it was a pretty solid fucking movie. It was a really, really good popcorn flick, and I had a good time. Like, it was really fun. I really, really enjoyed the tribute to Bud and Lou with Bruce. If you're not super familiar with that, I basically Hyena creators, a bunch of other shit. Too much to get into, but it was a solid movie overall. It was a lot of fun. I had a couple problems with some actors. Fucking Victor Zsasz just seemed like a meth head the whole time who was overly happy about pleasing his boss and like uber protective. It was basically reverse Batman and Robin as to where this dude was straight like on his shit 24/7, and a lot of people, I shouldn't say a lot of people, but like a small amount of people that like had a large enough voice wanted to basically put the thought out there that Victor Zsasz and Roman, I can never remember his last name, so I'll just say Black Mask, which was played by Ewan McGregor, were gay. Not the case. This dude was just like uber protective and didn't want anyone else taking the limelight even for a second. Like he was basically the junkie trying to continuously get his fix and make his boss as happy as possible kind of character, which is not who Victor Zsasz is. Victor Zsasz is a complete and utter sociopath who carves in lines after every kill. He has multiple fucking tally marks all throughout his body, kind of similar to how Deadshot, which they never portrayed this in the one movie, which I'm upset about, Suicide Squad, because Deadshot would not do that, but after every mark he had to kill, because he was a hired mercenary, as to where Victor Zsasz is kind of just a killer, he would get the names tattooed on him everywhere. He had them pretty much from the neck down. And depending what version of Victor Zsasz you take a look at, he is either covered in scars from head to toe, like all throughout his face, like nothing on the center of the face, but everywhere around it, like forehead to cheeks, well, far back cheeks, I guess I should say, towards the jawline. But and then there's also the Gotham version, which I actually liked. I thought that one was good. He was super, super clean. He kind of had that like uncomfortable look as to where like he was completely bald, no eyebrows, no nothing, and he just had like a motionless face. Because I don't know if anyone has ever looked at someone that doesn't have any eyebrows, but there's no emotion. Even when they're smiling, it doesn't look like anything. Like it's just kind of uncomfortably creepy. Now I'm not saying that to like be rude to anything, but like that's the character. That's what he was supposed to be, and it just, I think they missed the mark on making a proper Victor Zsasz. He was kind of a throwaway character. So the reasoning that they changed the name is because obviously what Walker had said, but otherwise more reasoning behind it is because the Birds of Prey were probably as a unit in that movie for about 20 minutes. It was the entire fight scene at the end when they were going against every gang that Black Mask, Roman something, once again I can't remember, but he had just gotten as many groups and gangs together to go completely kill these people because they all pissed him off. And Roman is super like short fused in a lot of ways. So super short backstory, as short as I can humanly make it. They didn't go over a lot of it in the movie, if at all. But Roman was dropped on his head as a child, like right after birth. Like the doctor straight up fumbled when he got him out the fucking right at the fucking the womb. He fumbled the child, and the doctor, not the doctor, but the parents were like, it's fine. I'm not going to sue. I'm not going to do anything. It's whatever. And they are like super high end rich. Like hangs out with the Waynes and like dominant level class, like as high class as you can possibly get, because they ran Janus Cosmetics, and basically Wayne Tech for makeup. Imagine like, and cosmetics in general. So he basically had like this empty look in his eyes ever since he was dropped, and like he never seemed right. But he was fine in every other aspect. Like when you looked into his eyes, you just didn't see any. It was completely just emptiness, no emotion, no nothing ever. Even when he was like super happy, it's just eyes are kind of like shark eyes, just dead stares. His character ends up getting super rich because he takes over the family fortune after he, kills his family in a house fire.
Nice.
Yeah, that's that. And ends up getting bailed out after he fucked up and released a line to Italy that ended up disfiguring a bunch of people. He got bailed out by Wayne Enterprises. Got bailed out, then bought out by Wayne Enterprises. Completely taken over. Basically gets kicked out. Gets super, super upset. This is his snapping point. And basically he ends up taking the makeup, and then he puts together this like group. I believe it was like the Faceless. It was like this mob group that was also semi like a cult. And here's why: is because he would get masks for each individual person, because he had this huge obsession with masks after he spent time in like Africa and other countries and shit. Because masks, like, regardless if you're familiar with it or not, but like masks are a super big part of history, like in other countries besides America. America doesn't really have any like masked history. But, like masks hold like spirits and ancient like healing properties. From like witch doctors, they would wear specific masks just to like call down power or whatever. I'm not super positive on how witch doctors work, but so yeah, he had this massive thing, and then he would give each person a specific mask of an animal based around what he thought would bring out their inner. And little did they know, though, these masks, yes, they could come off, but he had coated the entirety of the with that the botched makeup. So the second they put it on, it disfigured their face.
Bath salts all crazy.
it completely disfigured their face. So they had no incentive to ever take it off. They put it on. Hi, Zolo. So what's going on? But yeah, he just created this entire army, and he ended up, depending which one you watched, or which one you read, I should say, he ended up getting into a fight with Batman in his old house and fell into the fire, and the mask actually got burnt and melted into his face. They kind of did, yeah, they did away with that idea because they're like, wait, we already pretty much have a character that's very similar to that. His name's Two-Face. Because obviously disfigurement, problems, crime boss. So they went with basically the entire origin, and the one that they went off of for the movie was basically these people out here, this insanity, these clowns running around with masks and costumes. Fuck it. I'm going to join in on the insanity, and this is the best way to blend in and make a movement, because people don't take people that look normal seriously. So he wore this black skeletal mask just to simply be, fuck it, can't beat him, join him kind of idea. So the character itself I thought was good, but I feel like there was a lot of problems with it as well. My only other true issue is that Renee Montoya, I don't think she was done properly. She was a really cool character in the movie, really, really cool character in the comic series. She becomes the Question, which, if you're not familiar with the Question, go check that out. Check out that character, both versions, Renee's, and we never really got a name from the other dude, I don't think. If we did, I don't remember it. But my biggest issue, and such a big fucking waste in that movie, was the name drop of Cassandra fucking Cain. And the reason that pisses me off so much is because if any Batman fans, you'll know why. Cassandra Cain's fucking Batgirl. But they made her a pickpocket. and it doesn't make any fucking sense. She's a pickpocket who ended up idolizing Harley Quinn, and this is where the huge spoiler comes in. At the end, after she bails on the fucking Birds of Prey as they're sitting in the restaurant, after they had just beaten this fucking massive army of fucking gangbangers and like crime bosses and warlords from the area, they just bail. She gets in the car, she zips off with Cassandra, and she's basically like her sidekick now. Harley Quinn's sidekick, which doesn't make a ton of sense. But I mean, unless they're going for like, which they're not, there's no way in hell they could do this, because I don't think they would figure out how, or how they would implicate it, because one, Cassandra Cain was played by an Asian girl in the movie, and neither people that Harley has ever been with, like slept with, were Asian. But there's a twist, there's a spin-off story as to where Harley ends up having a daughter that she doesn't know about, and then this person gets close, which would be a really cool idea to
How
use.
does Harley not know she was a kid?
Yeah.
The same way. The same way.
How does baby mama not know?
This. So
You
it's
had this kid, but you didn't know you had it.
it's a whole thing.
That was
It's
weird. Okay.
It's a whole thing. Like, I
Know
don't
what
understand
was
exactly how
doing.
but like it's a thing.
What's this thing that fell on me? Somebody get scissors.
It's not necessarily like she thought she like got rid of it per se and didn't know it still existed.
Okay, that makes more sense. I
And,
didn't know I
like-
had a kid.
Yeah,
Did you birth it? No.
it's a whole
Was it
storyline.
you there? No, I was. Not happy.
It all started with both parents failed to show up for my birth.
Hey, everybody went and got cigarettes
fucking-
that day.
Doofenshmirtz from fucking Phineas and Ferb. It all started the day my parents didn't show up. But yeah, so the movie as a popcorn flick, it's fine. Does it tie into any? Because they make one reference to Suicide Squad, just like how in Aquaman they made a
They
reference to
would.
Justice League. So I was listening to a podcast earlier talking about this exact topic, and they kind of have to, because they still want to keep all of this in the same universe. So they
Yeah.
kind of have to keep things somehow intertwined as lightly possible. You see like a brief moment of the back of Joker's head, which is probably a completely different actor, just painted green in the hair real fast, just so they could do a quick little scene.
And so they could piss off that guy.
Yeah, Jared Leto. He's probably. I mean, honestly, dude, he's in Morbius now, and like that movie looks fucking. Like I am so stoked for that movie. It looks super solid. But yeah, overall rating of Harley Quinn. Like I have so much more to talk about, but like this, I'm not gonna take up more this time. Overall rating, I'd say, as a comic book movie, probably 3.5 out of 10, because a lot of it was like fairly on par. Black Canary wasn't terrible, even though she only used her powers once, and that really, really bothered me because she used her powers more. She wasn't like afraid to use her powers all too much. Like there were times, but the one saving grace with like the cast is Huntress. Huntress's character, Elena Bertinelli, basically really, really quick, like actually quick this time. Roman, like the people above Roman ended up killing the entirety of her family right in front of her. They brought like all cousins, family members, basically wiped the bloodline clean right in front of her. And then one of Roman's guys was like, okay, this is wrong. And like he didn't end up shooting. So he ends up finding her, picks her up after like everyone leaves because she's hiding under a stack of bodies, one being her mother, one being her little brother. Super fucked up. Takes her to Italy, trains her to be an assassin. She comes back. Super cool, super intricate little storyline. We could have had a movie all about her and it would have way fucking interesting. But yeah, as a movie as a whole, I'd probably say it was a good popcorn. It was something to check out. It's fun.
Shit. Good shit. And that is our movie section. Let's move on to some news, as well as new breaking news right now coming through. James, you're going to have to send me the podcast as my Streamlabs crashed 5 minutes ago, and I didn't realize it.
Oh, fucking
Anyways.
rad. Radical. Great. Cool.
And I only way to fix it I have to figure out this point is to reset my computer.
Nice.
But I wasn't recording for probably like 7 minutes, so
Nice.
No.
I'm
No
not streaming
dice
anymore.
bud.
So we'll definitely have to send it to me so I can add the intro, or I send you the intro and you upload it.
Well, I have
Doesn't
the
matter
I have the
which
intro
way.
too, so we'll talk about it afterwards.
Okay. And let's get into some gaming news, shall we? Let's go, James. Start with you, bro.
Okay, so this is from GameSpot. This is kind of a little interesting thing. Are you guys familiar with the PlayStation?
Yeah, I think I may have heard of it.
Are you guys familiar with the Nintendo PlayStation?
Yes, actually.
Yeah.
I actually got to see that live. That was a great moment.
Really?
Yeah, it was at BlurryCon one year.
Oh,
I got to see it.
nice.
That was pretty rad. Well, hey, guess what? If you want to own a piece of gaming history, the Nintendo PlayStation prototype, you can. Currently, the auction is at $350,000.
Oh, that's not bad. That's chump change.
Yeah, let's do it. So the Nintendo PlayStation was a collaboration between Nintendo and Sony to make a disc-based add-on for the Super Famicom. Only about 200 were made. This is the only known surviving working one in existence. Yeah, then Nintendo kind of shafted Sony and went with Philips. And then Sony's like, fuck these guys. We're going to make our own system, only better. And they did. And that's the history of the PlayStation. So yeah, if you want to... It's currently on, I think, Heritage Auctions, I do believe. So if you want to own a piece of gaming history, and you got the money. Got the money,
I'm sorry, I'm talking.
you're good. You can do
I
that.
heard you, YouTube. You're,
Fucking make it happen, boys. Let's put
no,
all of our life
none of
savings
us
together.
are. None of us do that.
Okay. So, Walker.
Yeah.
Here's something that's near and dear to both of our hearts.
I
I don't know about the other guys. I guess
Is
this
it
isn't
FF7?
this isn't loading. No, because that game's trash. Dragon Ball Z
Speaks the truth.
Abridged was a very popular YouTube series brought to you by the wonderful people at Team 4-Star.
Fuckers.
They recently did a video basically saying that Dragon Ball Z Abridged is done. They're not making any more videos of it. It's dead. They cited they just weren't having fun. It was burnt. They were just burnt out from it. So they do a lot of great stuff. I wish Team 4-Star the best in their other endeavors. They're a great channel. You should definitely support them. They do a lot of other great things. This is from The Verge. Another big name is skipping E3 this year. So we already know that Sony's skipping E3. But Jeff Keighley is going to be skipping E3 for the first time in 25 years. Jeff Keighley, as we know, he is kind of the biggest well-known name in the gaming reporting scene. He is the guy that hosts the Video Game Awards. He's the one that did the Gamescom, or was it the Gamescom show at the beginning?
Video Game Awards.
He did that,
Video
and then
Game Awards.
there was another thing that
Yeah.
he did at the beginning. I forget what it was, though. Yeah, so this is the first time since its introduction that Jeff Keighley will not be attending. Yeah, basically saying that he just doesn't want to. He's just not going to. So
Easy
Not
enough.
fame, it's good.
yeah, so that's another big name. You guys know about not the Nintendo, the Google Stadia?
Unfortunately.
I've heard of it.
You've heard of it? So, you know how people are getting pissed off at Google for being like, where's the game? We're game. One game. Well, Google is saying, hey, here game. They're
Here
adding
game.
they're adding 5 more games. First are Lost Woods, Beyond the Page. Okay, so Google confirmed 5 more titles will be added to their game streaming service in the coming months, 3 of which will be Stadia-timed exclusives. I almost said Vita. Lost Woods, Beyond the Page, Spitlings, and Stacks on Stacks, parentheses, on Stacks, are going to be the first 3 games. And surprisingly, the Serious Sam collection will be coming to Stadia, and the Panzer Dragoon remake.
Nice.
I forgot that Panzer Dragoon was they were remaking it. Now there's literally no reason to buy a Sega Saturn anymore. We had the last big gaming award show of the year, the DICE Awards. Here are the winners. So, Outstanding Achievement in Animation is Luigi's Mansion 3. Outstanding Achievement in Art Direction was Controlled. Outstanding Achievement in Character was Honk Honk, Untitled Goose. Outstanding Achievement in Original Music Composition was Control. Outstanding Achievement in Audio Design was Norman Reedus and the Funky Fetus. Outstanding Achievement in Story was Disco Elysium. Outstanding Technical Achievement was Norman Reedus again. The Death Stranding. Action Game of the Year was Control. Adventure Game of the Year was Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. Family Game of the Year was Super Mario Maker 2. Fighting Game of the Year was Mortal Kombat 11. Racing Game of the Year was Mario Kart Tour. Role-Playing Game of the Year was The Outer Worlds. Sports Game of the Year was FIFA 2020. Strategy/Simulation Game of the Year was Fire Emblem 3 Houses. Yeah, my boy Claude getting them reps in. Outstanding Achievement in Online Gameplay was Apex Legends. Immersive Reality Technical Achievement was Blood and Truth. Immersive Reality Game of the Year was Pistol Whip. Outstanding Achievement for an Independent Game was Hong Kong. Untitled Goose Game. Portable Game of the Year was Sayonara Wild Hearts. Yeah, fucking showing that love. Outstanding Achievement in Game Design was Baba Is You. Outstanding Achievement in Game Direction was Control. And do you guys want to take a guess what the Game of the Year was?
I'm trying to think of what it was on.
Video Game Awards is Sekiro.
Yeah, was it that?
Nope.
Anthem.
No. It was
I tried.
Untitled Goose Game won Game of the Year at the DICE Awards. Honk!
Nice.
Pretty well.
Fucking love it.
Did it really?
Yeah, it did. That
That's
game was
surprising.
that game is incredible. I loved Untitled Goose Game. And last thing that I have is, hey, you guys remember the Nintendo Online NES and SNES games?
Mhm.
You guys remember how they would, like every month they would give us like new games every month, and then they're like, no, we're not going to do that anymore. And it's
Yeah.
been like 200 years since we've got the last drop of games. Guess what? We got some drop of games here. Let's see here. We got for the NES, Eliminator Boat Duel and Shadow of the Ninja. And then the Super Nintendo will get Poppin' Twin B or Twin B. Shadows of the Smash Tennis. Some of those, I think, Twin B and what was it? Eliminator Boat Duel were never released here in the U.S., so this is the first time we'll be able to play them here in the States. And that is it for my gaming news.
Word. What do you got, Mark? And I'll go.
Oh, sure. Yeah, give me 1 second. So it looks like BioWare gave us an update on where Anthem's at,
Nice.
in case y'all are wondering.
Like, yeah, they
No.
do.
So they said over the last year, the team's been working hard to improve stability, performance, and the general quality of life. We're delivering 3 seasons and new content and features. We've heard your feedback and that Anthem needs a more satisfying loot experience, better long-term progression, and more fulfilling endgame. So we recognize that there's still more fundamental work that needs to be done for a full potential of your experience, and will require more substantial reinvention of the game or expansion. So over the coming months, we're going to be focusing on a long-term redesign of the experience, specifically working on reinventing the core gameplay loop with clear goals, motivating challenges, and progression with meaningful rewards, while preserving the fun of flying, because that was like the only good thing about Anthem, I guess.
The flying's pretty solid. Ain't gonna lie.
So they're going to be continuing working on the current version of the game, and they're moving away from the full seasons. So they're getting away from the seasonal sort of thing and just going right into making the game not shit.
And that's why we still have Christmas lights in Anthem.
until
I think that
March.
was actually taken off.
Oh, did they finally
last
remove 'em?
week?
Oh,
Yeah,
damn it.
they pushed an update after everyone talked about it.
Damn it.
So
'cause
everybody was like, "What the hell?"
Yeah, because
Yep.
they said they weren't gonna release the next update until March. So that makes sense. They probably were like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" And I feel like, "Shit, now we got to do this."
Is this
Makes
a
sense.
goddamn
Yeah, so-
joke?
So it looks like they're not doing any kind of content updates or anything like that anytime soon. They're actually gonna try and work on the game. So we'll see how that goes.
That's
Next one up, it
hilarious.
looks like Steam's getting a take on the Animal Crossing style of games. So there's a game coming to early access called Hoko Life, Hokko Life. If you watch literally any of the content of it on the Steam page, it literally looks identical to Animal Crossing. So
More-
let's just
There needs to be more Animal Crossing games out there, man. There needs to be.
yeah, like you can, walk around, cut down trees, decorate your house, make your own kind of outfits.
God damn it, it's just Animal Crossing.
Yeah, put items everywhere.
It's
Do
only
farming,
It's only
go
Animal
fishing,
Crossing.
get bugs. Like
My God, it's Animal
don't-
Crossing.
yeah, like to a T, it is Animal Crossing.
Minus the animals. It's just
So we'll see how
crossing.
that goes. Whenever that comes to early access, I'll be sure to let y'all know how that
Oh,
ends up turning
good.
out.
I'll have to play it. I need my fix.
Looks like Modern Warfare got a new map. Got Rust this week. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
pretty much it.
like it.
I don't. Looks like Nintendo will be participating in E3 2020, at least according to Mr. Bowser here. He says, "We look forward to participating in E3 2020. It's one of the many ideal venues for us to interact with people in a social and immersive environment. Every year, we base our approach on E3 to the content we have to share." And that's all he said.
Nice.
So we'll see if they actually show up. And last thing up, it's a big thing I'm pretty hype about, but I want to keep it on the DL because the dev asked for us. Up on Twitter, somebody asked Concerned Ape, the developer of Stardew Valley, if they're planning on making a new game in the Stardew Valley universe. And he said, yes, I'm actually working on a couple new projects. One takes place in the Stardew Valley world, but it's not a farming game. The other, I'm not 100% sure about the world yet, but it has to tie into the Stardew Valley in some way.
Oh my God, I
I
hope the Stardew Valley game in the Stardew Valley universe is just Animal Crossing.
He continues saying, I see this blowing up in the future and articles coming out, etc. All I ask is to not get too hyped at this stage. I want to avoid as much hype and speculation as possible. I'd just like to make whatever game comes naturally to me without too much pressure or expectations.
So they don't
Makes sense.
talk about it on Twitter.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess somebody asked him about it, so he felt the reason to answer him. But
I like it.
he puts in as much love as he did into Stardew Valley. I know that
Stardew Valley's so goddamn good.
it'll work out pretty well.
That game
That's
is
all for me.
So good.
The next new Half-Life game is going to be released March 23rd. So
Yeah, that just came
those
out
who've
of
been
nowhere.
waiting-
That announcement
did.
just dropped out of the blue.
It did. They're super surprised. Like, hey, by the way, this game's being released March 23rd. And everyone was like, oh, shit. Okay, cool. Thanks, man. I'm like, you're welcome. Here you go. Happy birthday.
Man, someone
no,
must have thought that was the greatest birthday present ever.
I guarantee it. When they seen that, they were like, oh, fuck yes. Last week,
Exciting.
James talked about Pokemon Home. That has now launched
Yeah, it
with plenty of content and plenty of bugs.
Yeah, it has.
The game, unfortunately, has been riddled with small bugs causing the game to crash. The most terrifying one is the dreaded 992 error, where basically what happens, you transfer your Pokemon from the bank to your home, the game crashes, and you lose your Pokemon.
That's fun.
Yep.
And there's no way to get it back.
Nope. It's gone forever.
There is no information as to when they will fix this. Nintendo says they are aware of this ongoing massive issue, and they apologize for any inconveniences caused, and they are working hard to get this fixed. So yeah, that's always fun.
Nice.
A couple other big things that just released.
March.
Finally,
Animal Crossing.
It's been a minute since we talked about Call of Duty.
Yo,
We
Call of
just
Duty
talked about
Season
it.
2 just
it's been
dropped.
like
Yeah.
4.
Yeah, we literally just talked about Call of Duty.
And then also at the beginning.
Oh yeah, I know.
It's been
So
like
it was-
4
it was a-
minutes,
It was a
if that.
joke, but never mind. You bums. Anywho, Call of Duty Call of Duty Modern Warfare season has just launched with a lot of rumors behind it. So, the greatest known leak is basically coming front and center. Modern Warfare, their battle royal mode, has been teased in the trailer, as well as there is a section in the menu that says classified and is grayed out, which means so you cannot click on it. It is a massive update. And
I mean, all of their other ones were like 120 some gigs, anyways.
Yeah.
So to find massive shit, but
well, just for like a base update of the game, it was huge. Upwards of 100 gigs is essentially what it is.
Fuck that!
Yes.
Jesus.
what
Yeah.
the last 2 were.
Yeah, it is huge. Developers at Infinity Ward have commented on the massive file size. They apologized on Twitter for the size of the update, saying that this Season 2 update is in a unique situation, but unfortunately we cannot release the details as to why this update was so big. It's because there in the background is the Battle Royale mode that they were releasing. It is called Warzone.
There is a. Did you guys hear about the glitch that has been happening where it basically
see it.
shows that? Yeah,
Yeah.
in the menu.
Yeah, if you play a custom game, there is a glitch in the custom game that actually puts you into the war zone and you can walk around freely in their battle royal mode.
Dang.
So they, Infinity Ward has promised that once future updates come down off of Season 2 and they release content that is expected, that they are going to be releasing file saving updates that will make this file size significantly less. Unfortunately, that will not come for some time, and they do apologize about any inconvenience this is gone. Additionally, a future update for Call of Duty Modern Warfare will be implemented that allows you to choose which DLC packs to install to free up space, which is nice. So all of the updates that come in will allow you to delete other parts of the game, but just know if you delete it, you can't play it. So
It's like,
that's
maybe
always
you
the
could
thing.
just not have it pre-built into your game. So
Mhm.
like, use the marketplace to determine that, like it's always been. I don't know.
Yep. Yep. They said they were very cautious over the overall size of this game. So,
Yeah, it seems like it.
yes, it is. Game is massive.
Cold
If
water
you
mark.
Probably, I think
Spitting fire.
300 gigs is what they're up to total from every update.
Fuck that.
Like, I can't imagine, like, if you stop playing the game for a bit, or if you bought it, like, whenever their new mode comes out, like, how big your update's going to be.
Oh, I haven't
You're-
even
it's gonna
turned
be
mine on yet.
it's
my
gonna be an
PlayStation
entire
4.
day.
It's going to be
Yeah.
like 500 gigs or
Yeah.
some shit.
I
You're
haven't
gonna buy a
turned my
whole
PlayStation
fucking hard
4 on
drive.
in a while.
You
Just
can have
for it.
one game on your PlayStation.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, my update's gonna be fucking massive for Call of Duty. Yeah, they are well aware and they apologize. Yeah, it is. You're not supposed to know that they're having they're having a fucking battle royal put into the game, but everyone
found
knows.
it.
They're putting a
accidentally.
battle royale game into their battle royale mode into their game that is going to be obsolete in like 5 months.
Because speaking of which, speaking of 5 months, they have confirmed that they are releasing a new Call of Duty game in October. They are well aware that this game will not do nearly as good as Modern Warfare. This Call of Duty will most likely be in the Black Ops world, if not a reboot of Black Ops 1.
Dude, just make a standalone zombies game already.
Yeah. Just do
I
it.
know.
Like, fuck.
I'm so tired of
Right.
zombies.
Modern Warfare is Activision Blizzard's #1 best-selling game of all time, generating over $1 billion worldwide.
So
I was
they are
gonna
well.
say, isn't it it's one of the biggest games of all time, just in general, isn't it?
Yeah, in history.
Yeah,
Um,
it's like literally the top grossing franchise of the gaming industry.
Call of Duty is, yeah.
It's 2019's highest selling game, to that December's best selling game in history. Um, and it's 500 million hours have been played in the multiplayer mode.
Fuck.
Is what they came out and said.
Crazy.
So they are well aware that this next Call of Duty will not be nearly as big, and they are expecting that, but they are not ending support anytime soon for Call of Duty Modern Warfare. So I'm assuming you can probably keep playing this well into next year, and it's
Give it 8 months.
so we'll see. We shall see. Final Fantasy on YouTube has released the intro trailer, the first 5 minutes of the game, where it's just a cinematic trailer that shows the city, shows the world. Graphics are fucking stunning. It is
Are they?
unbelievable. Yeah, it's a little cinematic movie. It's on Facebook, not Facebook. It's on YouTube. You can find it. The graphics are just unreal. It looks so realistic. It was an instant boner, is what I texted.
It looks incredible.
Speaking of Final Fantasy 14 is ditching its gender restrictions when it comes to clothes. So you want to wear a wedding dress and you're a man, you can wear the newest update coming next week will ditch any restrictions as to clothing that you want to wear. So that's actually pretty cool.
I mean, I don't see why it wasn't there already, but you know.
There's
You got a
reasons.
model of that sort of thing.
Yeah.
I don't know, it's
Yeah.
probably
Hey man, you were
design
able to wear
decision.
2B's outfit as a guy. If you're a guy, you had a big old badonk donk, but
where we at here? I lost my train of thought. So, in reporting, so the reason why we haven't heard much of Sony, and as to what's going on with the PS5, multiple sources have confirmed that Sony is struggling, behind the scenes with the executives on the price of the PS5. Not only are they waiting for Microsoft to pull the trigger first, but Microsoft is also waiting on Sony to pull the trigger, so that's going to be a little bit of a thing.
we got a cold
But
war going
really
on.
high
Good old
execs
Mexican standoff.
are split. Multiple sources have confirmed that that every executive higher up in Sony are split on the decision, whether or not to sell the unit to make a profit or sell it lower and gain profit on subscriptions and the software.
Well,
Right.
here's the thing on
Go
that. Sony and Microsoft have never made a system that made them profit. At least starting off.
Yep.
I read a report where it was like, yeah, the PS4 it was like when it came out it was like what, like $400? Was
Yeah,
it
it was
$400?
$20 more than what it costs to make.
Yeah,
it.
that's a lie. That's a fucking lie. That PS4 probably cost about $600.
Yeah.
When the PS3 came out, when it was like $600, it cost them
That's
$800 to make
Yeah.
it. No one makes other if your name is a Nintendo, you do not make money off of your systems. You make money
So
off
what
the
would you
dev
say,
kits.
the first like 3 years.
Two and a half, 3 years. You don't make money on the systems. You lose
That's
a lot of
insane.
money.
And that's one of the biggest things that they're struggling with because of the technology and the pieces that they are using that are inside this PlayStation. It's the cost is very, very high, and some of the executives think, okay, we're giving people this massive machine that can handle a lot. Why not make them pay for it? And the other half is like, no, the PlayStation 4 is $200 right now. You release a system that's $500, $450, they're gonna be like, I don't know about that. That's more than what the PlayStation 4 was.
Yeah.
So that basically they're at a standstill in that decision wise, because for one, Microsoft isn't releasing the price, and because of that, Sony doesn't know what to do. Profit, not profit, come off the subscriptions and software. So they are currently at a standstill at corporate, and that's another big reason why we don't know the specs of it. We don't know the price. We don't know what it looks like, anything along those lines, because they can't get the price down. And once they get that price down, they say we will know more. But until then, they're holding off
I think
because they want to make sure it's done right.
$400 would probably be the perfect price for like the PlayStation 5.
I would think so.
Like you said, you do not make money on this hardware. You make money on the licensing fees and you make money on the subscriptions. And if you can if you can get this into more people's homes, you're going to make more money on the software because people are going to be drawn to that platform more to make games, and which is going to mean more dev kits sold where they actually make money, and on the licensing fees to be on the platform, and then also you're going to be raising that subscription count. So, $400, perfect price. $450 might be pushing it. $500 is definitely pushing it.
Yep. Yeah, I think that will $500. I think it'll turn a lot of people off, but
That's really expensive.
Mhm.
it is.
It's
Very high.
Well, okay, so realistically, what do we think it's coming?
I think $400 is the perfect.
Yeah.
Medium.
Mm,
400 would be the
If-
best for me as a consumer.
if we're being
but
honest, at a level,
I mean, I would say anywhere between $400 and $500.
you think that low?
Yeah.
Anything over $500,
You don't think
though,
it might be
hope
like
so.
a $550 system?
Hell no, they won't make that
At-
mistake again. Because that's
at
what
this
killed the
point,
PS3.
yeah.
yeah.
But I feel like we're in a new era. Like we're in the
Nah,
PC
people
era,
don't
so
wanna
people
spend
are
money.
buying thousands of dollars PCs. Obviously, this isn't the same like competitiveness, but like if Microsoft releases theirs first, because that's rumors have been that the PlayStation got pushed back a little bit further, and the Xbox is coming out sooner than, even if it's like a couple days, maybe. But if they release theirs at X amount, say 500, do you not think that they might release theirs at the same, or if it's like 500 or 550, don't you think they would release it the same, or maybe would they try to undercut?
So Microsoft is releasing two systems, though. Microsoft is releasing a Pro system and then like a Lite system. So that price difference they can have. Sony's only releasing one, so
As
they
far
can't
as we
afford
know.
to do both. Yeah, as far as we know that they're only doing one. But so Microsoft can vary. Like the Xbox One X is way more expensive than the base Xbox
I don't
One
feel
S.
like it should be though. I don't feel like it's enough. I don't feel like it's enough to warrant that price point.
And
Do
I
you
agree.
think the One X is worth its price?
At the time when it came out, yeah, but now no. Like when it first launched, it was a billion times more powerful than anything you could
So
play.
maybe I'm completely wrong, but if something isn't currently worth its price, why would it have ever been worth its price?
Well, because I think when it came out, it was like, oh, this is fucking awesome. And then people finally
Because
realized what it was, and then they're
just
like, oh, never mind.
At least my idea of like depreciation, at least the way I'm thinking of it, maybe like I said, maybe I'm, but like obviously cars are a bit of a different thing, so I'm not gonna do that per se. But at like say like graphics cards or whatever, they get released at $700.
Mhm.
2 years, they get dropped usually fairly high. Like we have not 2 years, maybe like 3 years. But like we see graphics cards go from what, like $700 to like $400
Yeah.
every now and then, like because
But-
that's truthfully what they're worth.
But at that point, though, you're really getting secondhand stuff.
Yeah, you're
Like,
getting
3
a
years
2-year-old
from
card
now-
when you spend a little more money.
But it's
Three
the kind
years
of
from
thing
now,
that
you're
is
not going to get the
last.
2070 brand new.
Yeah.
But like, so they're still selling. How old 10? They still sell that brand new. They still sell that. That's at like $300. Like no, maybe 250, whatever it was. But like that's still a card that gets sold for a decent amount of money at probably what it truly should have been priced at. That's probably what it should have been valued at, and what it's worth realistically, like for
And
what
what-
it can do.
With the Xbox One X, when it came out, it was evolutionary because it wasn't anything powerful. But then as time went on, when people realized what you needed to go with it, and the games and everything like that weren't
And it
up
also
to par.
It
People were like,
didn't
"Oh, this
do
isn't
anything
worth it."
for anybody.
becomes cheaper to make the parts too.
Yeah.
Technology advances, the stuff becomes cheaper to make.
So at the end of the day, do you think they're just trying to fill their pockets due to the fact of like R&D? Then is that the only thing that's really causing it to go up as high as it is?
Like that's what they're stuck at because Sony wants to. Some people want to make money off this console, while other people are like, no, we're not going to make money off the console. Like
I'm not even talking about like
that's what
just
they're
trying to
stuck.
like grab money, but just
Yeah.
purely to refill off active development, because it's fucking Sony and Microsoft. They've had these ideas and they've had these plans for, I guarantee, at least probably 3 years.
Yeah.
Like, there's no way they're just like, oh, we're gonna do this in a system right now. They've been thinking this for years and probably been in development for years and years. Like, I don't know. Maybe I don't understand how like the tech world works and shit like that. But like, because I am relatively new to it still, like in that aspect of like components and shit. But I don't know. It just doesn't seem logical. Like, I definitely agree. Like, it shouldn't be any higher than like maybe at most 4, 5. But
I think from a consumer standpoint, if a customer sees a $500 game system, they're gonna be like,
There's going to be a big
"Eh,
turnoff.
I'm good."
they're gonna
Yeah.
buy it though.
Some people will, but not everybody
people
will.
People will still buy it. How many PlayStation 3s were sold? Like crap, like fucking cake, and those were expensive as fuck too. They
But they were though, and that's why Microsoft destroyed the PS3 in launch because the Xbox 360 was so much better priced.
They had,
and
like,
it stayed that way.
What was it? They had, like, at launch, they had, what, a $200 system?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, it
because they
wasn't
had
that,
the...
wasn't that like that, but
Well, I thought the arcade without
was
the
like-
hard drive was, like,
oh yeah,
two,
yeah.
200 or 250 at
'cause they
launch,
had two systems.
as opposed
and-
to $600 for the PlayStation 3.
Yeah, because the PlayStation was like, "Oh, this is evolutionary. It's the Blu-ray player in a game system. Here you go," and everyone was like, "No, I'm good."
And then after the PS3, after it became a lot cheaper to develop,
That's when
Blu-ray
the
drives
stock
stuff.
rised.
that's when, if you look back at the sales numbers, by the end of that generation, I would say for the past year and a half to 2 years, Sony was killing it. They
and then
destroyed
that-
the 360.
And that momentum moved into the PS4,
Mhm.
and that's why the PS4 did so well because Sony fixed their
eviscerated
shit.
it.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and they were like, Sony was like, "Okay, yeah, we learned from our mistakes. We need to keep this momentum going."
Exactly.
And they did. So I don't think they want to lose that because you can buy a PS4 now for what, $150?
Where?
Well, I don't know if that's actually the price, but it's
Like 200.
like 200.
200 new.
Are we
Yeah.
are we talking about like? Well, yeah, okay, no, 200 new. That sounds right. Then what are the pros at? Those are what, $400 still?
300.
300 bucks.
Yeah. So, but we'll see how it goes.
Well,
Biggest
no,
F-
because sorry,
Go
not to continue, but
you're good.
$250 for a PlayStation Slim. That's what I paid because it was on sale. A PlayStation Slim is $300. So aren't pros for? I thought pros were 400
Not even
because
no
that's
idea.
still at $300.
Well, it's because it's still selling. So that's why Microsoft had to like cut their
Oh.
prices so much.
Fuck, that is not worth that much.
The PlayStation's still making money.
Yeah, like the PlayStation actually sells as. At least I
Yeah.
think
The
that
the
Microsoft
Xbox, yeah.
they're so cheap because they have to get rid of them.
Yeah,
They've
'cause they
been
have
doing
to
that
try
for
to-
the past like 2 or 3 years.
Yep. The world's biggest FPS is becoming a movie.
Counter-Strike.
Crossfire.
I thought you said the Call of Duty movie was
What the
canceled.
fuck is Crossfire?
It's a
Um,
free-to-play FPS from, I do believe, Tencent.
Yep, Tencent in Chinese in China. Chinese.
It's
Tencent
coming
China.
to Xbox, I do believe, as well.
It is.
Okay.
It's been going on for
Um,
like forever. It's hugely
More
popular
than
there.
650 million. It has more than 650 million red people. And concurrent players, it averages about 8 million players, which then makes it the world's biggest first-person shooter game.
Mhm.
It is coming to Xbox. While the Alan Wake developers are working on a new single-player campaign.
Ooh, I didn't know
So,
that.
Yes.
Was it Sony
is-
that bought them? I can't remember. I thought they bought them.
Was it Epic?
Or was it Epic?
Yeah, I think it was Epic because it just released in the store.
Did it?
Yeah, they gave it away for free.
So yeah, so Alan Wake's also coming out into the game. Who likes Prince of Persia?
Don't
If they did
fucking
that
hurt
well
my
again,
soul.
And
love
hurt your
Prince of
soul.
Persia.
So Prince of Persia is back with a new VR escape room game.
Backstreet's back.
So for those who missed Prince of Persia and the Dagger of Time, it is coming out, and it is escape room type console game with a VR headset. That's fun.
Let's hope it doesn't suck.
Yeah. Xbox,
Probably will.
the xCloud iOS signups are now open. If you would like to register for the iOS devices, all you have to do is it comes by the app Apple Test Flight. It is an invitation-only beta program. Microsoft is encouraging everyone to sign up, but only a select individuals will be approved. I believe xCloud is already out on Android, correct? For
Yep.
beta.
And
Yep.
And Microsoft is now being launched. Open invitations will be open for the next 2 weeks. So if you want to try it and you have an iPhone, now is your time. Speaking of Xbox, Sea of Thieves, baby, is back in the news. So, you know, when you make your character in Sea of Thieves, you can be fat, skinny, you can have a weird looking face, a long face, short arms, fat arms, whatever you want. But once you pick it, you can't change it until next
Ever?
week. No,
Oh.
you can never change. You can never change the look of your character until next week. The new update will allow you to change your physical appearance in Sea of Thieves. So if you're pick the fat, really big fat dude, and you want to become skinny, you can now go into the settings and change how your character. This is something that people have been asking for since pretty much the launch of the game. But they have not come out and done it because they said it. They like leaving it how it is because you picked that for a reason. This way, it allows basically just continuity. It just allows everything to flow fluently and without you constantly changing how your character looks. So, with that, people have been very upset and they want to be able to change your appearance. So, they are allowing you to. So, you have to get a pirate appearance potion for 149 ancient coins or $1.50. So it is not free to change your character, but once you get the potion, you can change how your character looks. So there's that. Ubisoft.
Yes, microtransactions.
Yes, I know, right? Ubisoft is still working on the world's largest open world game that has been in develop for 10 years based off a movie that came out 10 years ago. The Avatar Project. So, they are still working on an open world Avatar game that immerses you
Interesting.
in the world of Pandora. It is unknown when this will be released, but the developers said that the massive project has two separate teams working on it. One doesn't have more control over the other, but because the game is so massive, takes two different teams. Avatar Project has its own dedicated team, and as well as a recruiting talent team on top of that. So Avatar's department has no impact on the team working on the division or anything like that from Ubisoft, but they are still
They definitely
in
took
develop.
probably people from the Beyond Good and Evil 2 project. That's for goddamn sure.
Probably. The next movie is slated for December 2021. It is rumored that they are trying to cross promote the game and the movie, so we might get it next year.
I already made an
I don't really-
Avatar game. Do you really need to make another one?
Yeah, but
No,
that
it
game
wasn't
was
too
shit
bad.
though.
It wasn't too bad.
It wasn't horrible, but
It
wasn't
wasn't
good.
a movie game.
no,
Mhm.
this is a legit like open world concept of the whole entire world of Pandora that they've been more.
They don't need to make open world games like It's so oversaturated. Open world games.
They're great though.
Not
Trying to
all
walk
of them.
around Pandora.
I mean, have you played Far Cry 5? Have you
The Far
played
Cry
any
games haven't been
Ubisoft
good
games?
since the 2.
Have you played any Ubisoft games? It's
Yeah.
basically nothing to do for the entire game.
It's true.
But
About the
what
journey,
other
not the destination.
Well, there's that, but also like, what other companies have open world games besides Rockstar and Ubisoft that are truly open?
What do you mean by truly open world?
Like, so
Link.
I guess like I
Yeah,
would
like
say,
Breath of the Wild's open world game.
Pretty much any survival game.
Yeah, any survival game.
what's what survival game? Besides like
Fucking Ark.
Ark, I feel like Ark's a
Rust.
different style of game. Just like that. That's so. I guess I'll say like
Bethesda.
games that are like
I think about Bethesda.
Well, you Fallout
games
76.
that
That's
aren't-
open world.
just sandboxes because Ark and Rust are both survival sandbox. That's what they.
That's
That's
the games.
that was the other part I'm going to get into. Games that are based around a story, and also a Bethesda game has been out, and we're not going to count 76 because it's bad. But like, they haven't done anything in what probably close. Skyrim's been out for what, about 10 years?
Well, I don't know
Well,
which
it-
version of
like
Skyrim
you-
you're talking about.
They're all the
Yeah, so
same
it's
though.
about 10 years.
I mean, it's been a year since the last version of Skyrim came out.
Minecraft.
Minecraft.
Sandbox though.
November 11th, 2011.
Yep, 11,
Oh.
11, 11.
Almost 10 years.
I don't is Minecraft really considered a sandbox considering it's procedurally generated and there's really no I mean Xbox version excluded. There's no map limit.
True.
Yeah,
It's still considered a sandbox game.
yeah, I consider it a sandbox.
It's an open world sandbox.
Gotcha.
Because at that level, we would have to say like Ark and Rust also aren't sandboxes because isn't there technically no limit Ark
Those are
or is
more
there?
RPGs.
Yeah, they do. Ark has a barrier around its map.
Okay.
Yeah, I asked Shota that yesterday, and I was like, "What happens if you swim out into the ocean and not stop?" He's like, "Yeah, there's a
Yeah.
giant barrier you run into."
Yeah, it's like a wall of energy that wraps around the entire map.
The Truman Show.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. That's a really good thing for it. Yeah.
A couple more things. I have three more things. V-Bucks
Oh, God.
maybe taxable next year.
Oh, that's fun.
The
No, what are the
IRS
kids going to do?
That's awesome.
Yeah, V-Bucks. You may have so people who donate V-Bucks to other players.
You have to pay
The,
taxes
I,
on it.
the IRS is heavily looking into it, whether or not they will be taxing V-Bucks to individuals like your ninjas, things along those lines, people who gift this to other people because it is currency. It's an in-game currency, but they were also looking at every type of digital
Oh my
currency.
God.
Good luck.
Could you
All of a sudden, I'm
imagine?
gonna get a tax notice for the currency in my that I
Yeah.
have on this.
Could you imagine the IRS coming after you for not putting your V-Bucks on your tax return?
Yeah, right now the only taxable digital currency is Bitcoin.
Mm-hmm.
But they are looking into trying to make it a thing where if you buy or utilize any type of digital currency in the game, because it is currency, if it's gifted to you or whatever it may be, that they are looking to see if that is taxable or not, and if it is, will it be required for you to report it on your tax returns?
That'd be like going into a freaking arcade
Yeah.
and trying to do taxes on the token on your Chuck E. Cheese tokens.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm not thinking about this right, but like, doesn't PlayStation already put tax on when you purchase V-Bucks?
No,
that's
like
what I'm-
it comes off
Depends
like
on
your
the
tax
state.
return.
Yeah, off of like your tax
If
return
it's
if you get gifted it.
monetary, but here's the thing though: if you receive money in any form, if it's translates to $1, shouldn't I mean yeah, that should be taxed, I guess, but
Like when someone
That's-
donates you money, you have to report that on your taxes.
right, which
So
is always
someone-
been a thing.
Donates $100 in V-Bucks to you.
You don't
Is
have
that the
to
same
report
thing? Yeah. Is that the same thing? Like, hey, I'm going to give you $100, but instead I'm going to donate $100 in V-Bucks or Roblox bucks.
Robux.
Robux.
Get it
Is
right.
the same thing as me
Interesting.
just giving you $100. That's what they're looking at.
I don't think they're gonna be able to. I don't think it's a logic.
It's just too heavy.
Much.
It's too many
Yeah,
different.
there's way too much. Then wouldn't they have to break down the version of taxes due to like increments of what you can buy?
Right.
That's
And then
basically
everything
all.
is going to have a every item within the store is going to have its own barcode type.
Well,
number
Yeah,
I think it's only talking about if you get gifted them.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you
But if they were to do that, wouldn't have to do it the other way.
no, because you're
sense?
already getting taxed on when you buy V-Bucks on like the PlayStation Store, on the Xbox Store. At least for us here in the PA, you get taxed at 6%. That part goes to the government, so you don't need to put it on
Right.
your tax return.
And
That's
so
what I
like,
think.
and then there's on the tax return, there's a spot that you make any money outside of this. Yes. What was it from? Did you like when I did it on H&R Block? It asked that I invest in Bitcoin last year. It asked that, and if I would have hit yes, I literally had to report how many V-Bucks I purchased, what I invested, what I sold, and that goes against your tax return, and that's what they're looking here. Like if you win, like say if I win $1 million tomorrow, I have to report that next year on my taxes, and then I have to pay the government like $100,000 or whatever it may be out of that money that I won.
Well, yeah,
I-
that's just been that's been that way always. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's
So
like
what
the
would
same
be this-
concept.
yeah.
So I'm gonna gift you $300 in V-Bucks because you're streaming, and instead of donating $20, I'm gonna donate
Giving a real
$20 in
currency.
V-Bucks.
So
Yeah,
does that mean
that's what they're-
now you have
It
to?
hasn't
I don't know if
passed,
you
but-
already do, but like, would that mean? Do you pay taxes on like Patreon and stuff like that?
If you
Yeah.
put it in
Because
Yeah,
your
you
bank
have to
account,
put it.
yeah,
you have to put it on your taxes.
Okay.
yeah, there's a file that gets printed.
Was it
If
the
you
I-99, 1099?
So
Like that.
if that money stays on Patreon, we don't have to do anything with it. But the second we take that, put it into a PayPal account, one of our individual PayPal accounts, we have to claim that on our taxes because people gave that money to us.
Now that's up to a certain amount, though, right?
Yeah.
Like you
I
have
also
to
would
meet
say,
a threshold before you actually have to claim it.
hmm I think it's like
Would
$1,000.
wouldn't you
I don't know
also
what that
like,
number is.
since that's business, regardless, wouldn't that be that's you can write that off because it's being used for business purposes as long as you're not.
But as
Huh?
long as it's a as long as you are a
assuming
business.
Yeah, but
it's
this
Right.
isn't really a
registered as
business. Yeah, we're not. If you, in the government side, this isn't a business.
Mm-mm.
We'd have
We're
to
not
do
an
all the
LLC.
paperwork and we'd have to do all the paperwork and stuff to make this a business. Yes, to us, it's our Sunday job, things along those lines. But in the eyes of the government, they're going to see this as a leisure thing that we're doing for fun.
Yeah.
As shitty as that sounds, yes, but that's in the eyes of the government. Like things along those, like this isn't.
We're not here to make money.
Yeah. Some and that's the same thing like Ninja and all them people. Any money they get donated, the bits, any of that Schroeder, things along those lines. Anytime people donate, subscribe, whatever to him, give him stuff. Or any of the streamers, there's a form they have to fill on their taxes, and then they get charged. To make it
Yeah. Unless
basically.
unless they register it as an actual business, then it's a
Yeah.
completely different thing. Then it's revenue.
So yeah, it's a whole thing. And who knows if it actually will pass? I highly doubt it. Obviously, it won't happen this year because people are already filing their taxes. But into next year, we'll see. With the way gaming is nowadays, I know for a fact they're gonna try. But who knows? That's why they banned microtransactions in a lot of countries. The same concept.
Which is dumb.
The last piece of news that I have is that I don't have any more news.
Nice.
So that is so that
What
is all the
news?
news that I
What
have.
great news.
Let's get into some releases, James.
All right. So, February 18th, two very important games come out. Vanquished and Bayonetta on PS4, Xbox One, and Steam. Play Vanquished. It's really good. Psycho Shooting Stars Bravo comes out for the Switch on the 18th. The DCL, which is the Drone, I think, Championship League, the game comes out for the PC and PS4 on the 18th. Giraffe and Anika comes out for the PC on the 18th. Hunt Showdown comes out for the PS4 on the 18th. The fuck is this one called? Kingdom Hearts HD 2.8 Final Chapter Prologue
For the Xbox.
comes out for the PS4 and Xbox One on the 18th. Skull the Hero Slayer comes out on the 19th. The Suicide of Rachel Foster comes out for the PC on the 19th. Lost Artifacts comes out for the Xbox One on the 19th. Bunny Parking comes out for the Xbox One on the 19th. On the 20th, we have... Alright. Under Night in Birth EXE Late Bracket CL-R Uniclear. There we go. It's just Uniclear. Coming out on PS4 and Switch on the 20th. Double Dragon and Kunio-kun Retro Bundle comes out for the Switch and PS4 on the 20th.
I fucking love these names.
World of Horror comes out for early access on PC on the 20th. Dread Out 2 comes out for the PC on the 20th. Katana Kami, The Way of the Samurai comes out for the Switch and PS4 on the 20th. Devil May Cry 3 Special Edition comes out for the Switch on the 20th. Dreamo comes out for the PC on the 20th. Sega Ages Sonic the Hedgehog 2 comes out for the Switch on the 20th. Dragon comes out for the PS4 and Xbone on the 21st. Dungeon Defenders Awakening comes out in early access on the PC on the 21st. Brief Battles comes out on the Switch on the 21st. Tony Stewart Sprint Car Racing comes out for the PC on the 21st.
Woo.
Ailment comes out for the Xbox One on the 21st. Tower of Babel No Mercy comes out for the Switch on the 21st.
And you got the 22nd. Anything on the 22nd?
Nope, nothing on the nothing until the 25th.
The only honorable mentions that I can think of for movies: A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood is out in DVD and Blu-ray and streaming tomorrow.
Hey.
Jojo's Rabbit. It is the comedy about Hitler.
JoJo's
Comes
Bizarre
out on the 18th.
JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Diamond is Unbreakable Chapter 1, the live action came out here stateside on
Nice.
Blu-ray and DVD. Hell yeah.
The Twilight Zone Season 1 is released to CBS Now, the paid service through them.
What you mean?
And the only other thing that looks remotely interesting is that the final season of the Star Wars,
We
The
out
Clone
here.
Wars, comes out to Disney Plus on the 21st.
Yay.
So there's no big movies coming out, which means Sonic will most likely be #1 again next week.
Hell yeah.
And we do have the Call of the Wild, which is the true story of like Balto with Harrison Ford, about the dog who had to ski across the world basically to save his little community.
He's fucking fantastic. Cobalto is the best boy.
Balto, good boy.
So
Top
there's
tier
that.
good boy.
But that's all we got for some news and a podcast, gentlemen. So for those who have never been a part, thank you for hanging out with us as always. And this coming week, you can find us where, James? Where can we find you?
So you could find me streaming Dreams and Dragon Ball Z Kakarot and maybe Jedi Fallen Order. Who knows? Maybe I'll get back into that. YouTube.com/People8 Studios and Twitch.tv. Well, Twitch.tv/People8 Studios. If you want to watch me play Final Fantasy VII, if DaVinci Resolve doesn't decide to be a fuck and just crash every time I use it. And Yakuza 0, you could find that on youtube.com/People8 Studios. And if you want to see what I'm doing with my life, maybe check out my Twitter @People8Hate10.
I like it. Mark.
Who knows what I'm doing? We'll see. But if you want to watch me make mediocre content, that's at YouTube and Twitch at MarkDude701.
I like it. Nathaniel.
Everywhere at YF Kitsune. Probably gonna be streaming some that is for sure. Gonna be working on a video with James to edit and hopefully release on YouTube at some point. I don't know how long this takes to edit. I've never really done that, so
It could take a
we
while,
shall
my
see.
guy.
Other than that, I believe I'm gonna be playing something this week. I imagine. Wednesday, hopefully we play some. Hopefully play some 5M. That's gonna be streamed if we do. Friday is Arc Night. Thursday we got Splash Screens Battle Royale. Maybe I'll stream that night too, depending when I get out. If I work till close, probably not because I'll be tired.
Right.
Give it a shot. We'll see. We'll see. And then honestly, I'm probably gonna start streaming just because I can now, and I shouldn't say again. I should say start because that's one of the things I made out of. But yeah, I'm gonna be streaming hopefully some COD, probably Saturday. Saturday
Nice.
sounds about right. But yeah, not a ton from me. That is all. Everywhere. Twitter, Instagram, Twitch, Facebook at YF Kitsune. Jeff?
Rhoda.
Yeah. I will be actually. You kind of went over most of the stuff I'll be doing. I mean, honestly. Yeah. I'm on YouTube at Splash Screen Gaming, Twitch at Splash Screen Gaming, Facebook and the Instagram at Team Splash Screen, and Twitter is the Splash Screen G. But yeah, I mean, you pretty much covered it all. Wednesday, is the GTA 5M, and then Thursday is Overwatch, Friday is Arc, and then next Sunday we'll be doing this again. But in between there, I will probably be randomly streaming things related to Arc, because that's going to be the thing that I'm working on for a bit.
Fuck yeah, dude.
But other than that, yeah, stay tuned. I got some cool ideas for some bigger, like cinematic type YouTube series I want to do using the Arc as a stage, so it should be fun. But
Hell yeah.
yeah, check out our Discord. It's linked on most of the social media stuff. Definitely on Twitch.
Good shit. Myself, I'm me once again at Captain Geach 15. I will be playing probably Apex. Don't know if I'll stream it, just because I seem to do really bad at that game when
you stream.
I stream it.
Do you think that's
That's the
because of
comedy.
the yeah, there's that. But you think that has anything to do with the stream affecting your upload and download?
No, I don't know if it's just nerves or whatever, but I just seem to like die really fast for some reason. And when I don't stream it, I have pretty good games, and like I said, I'm the best Apex player in the world. So
Or
I can't
so he
stream it
says.
I can't stream it and like tarnish that reputation I have going
Pixar,
for
it
myself.
didn't happen.
Of course.
Yeah.
You got to stream to prove.
I know, right? But I need to get back in the Dragon Ball Z. I feel bad for Goku. I've been letting him down. I need a
He's a,
Dragon Ball Z
That's
Kakarot.
fine. Goku's been, he's let all of us down many a times.
I only have 2 more episodes of Dragon Ball Super. I'm depressed myself because I haven't finished it yet. Slacking. But that, obviously, Arc. I haven't streamed Arc, which I should. I think that'd be a good time. So that's pretty much my itinerary until March 23rd, and then I'll just be balls deep into some Final Fantasy VII. So hopefully that game lasts quite some time.
It doesn't come out
Once
March
again, you can
23rd.
find me at March 23rd. I'm pretty sure, isn't that what it is?
I thought that was what it originally
Or
was.
is it April 23rd?
It's April
That's
20th.
Half-Life Alex. It's
Oh,
March
yeah.
23rd.
Yeah, April 10th.
April 10th. Okay, that's what it was. I had March 23rd in my head. Yeah, you're right, from Half-Life. So, and as always, for anyone who's new to the podcast, I hope you like it. I hope you enjoy it. Please make sure you do check out our other ones. I know some people might feel this a little long, but at the end of the day, the quality of news that we provide is actually pretty good. I was talking to Schroeder about it. I've actually sharpened my knowledge around this quite a bit. So I hope you enjoy the content. I hope you like it. I hope you will continue listening and hanging out with us. You can follow us everywhere at Level Unlock Podcast, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at what, James?
LVL Unlocked Pod. That's LVL Unlocked Pod.
And if you would like, you can email us, levelunlockpodcast@gmail.com, as well as feel free to hang out and help us any way possible at our Patreon at patreon.com/levelunlockpodcast. Become our first Patreon for the podcast. All the money goes directly back into it, allows us to grow, get bigger, and we appreciate any support that you would give, regardless of what it is. And remember, one last time, we are doing a giveaway for a $50 gift card to any streaming service of your choosing. Steam, PlayStation, Xbox, whatever it is. The link is in all of the social medias, as well as it'll be in the bottom of this description on the Level Unlocked podcast. I believe that does translate to the other areas if you are watching this somewhere else, correct, James? I believe so.
What do you mean?
Should at least. Like the description rate on Podbean, is that
Oh
translated
yeah,
to like
it does.
Spotify and stuff?
Yeah,
Okay.
it does.
Do you have the website, Mark, readily available to read off? No.
Yeah, it's just tiny URLs / level unlocked sweepstakes.
Perfect.
Or
Go.
Lock everyone.
tinyurl.com / level unlocked sweepstakes.
Perfect. Go there, sign up, and remember, if you follow and like our social medias, you get chances to win. We will be announcing that in a couple weeks. Once again, thank you, everyone. I hope you like it. If you are new to it, I appreciate you. We appreciate you. And we will see you possibly again this week for maybe a special Podbean hosting
Oh, yeah,
podcast.
we might be doing that.
If not, we will see you as always every Sunday, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We will see you soon.
Around
You
10
guys-
p.m.
Around 10 p.m.
Around 10 p.m.
Around 10 p.m. But thank you guys. Love you guys. And have a good night.
And
Bye.
peace.
Take care, everybody.